hardest, and I'ma go hard regardless. Yeah, I'ma go hard regardless. Yeah, renting my check, I rent on my bag, I did what I did. Yeah, renting my check, I rent on my bag, I did what I did. Yeah, and how good they judge me, oh, but they
They're
don't know.
setting Dylan Gabriel up to take the biggest L out of
Look how far I came, dog. I ain't had no guidance. I just did my thing, dog. I just went my hardest, and I'ma go hard regardless. Yeah, I'ma go hard regardless. Yeah, renting my check, I rent on my bag, I did what I did. Yeah, renting my check, I rent on my bag, I did what I did. Yeah, and how good they judge me, oh, but they don't know. Look at what I did, look at what I started. Look how far I came, dog. I ain't had no guidance. I just did my thing, dog. I just went my hardest, and I'ma go hard regardless. Yeah, I'ma go hard regardless. Yeah, renting my check, I rent on my bag, I did what I did. Yeah, renting my check, I rent on my bag, I did what I did. Yeah, and how good they judge me, oh, but they
They're
don't know.
setting Dylan Gabriel up to take the biggest L out of
Look how far I came, dog. I ain't had no guidance. I just did my thing, dog. I just went my hardest, and I'ma go hard regardless. Yeah, I'ma go hard regardless. Yeah, renting my check, I rent on my bag, I did what I did. Yeah, renting my check, I rent on my bag, I did what I did. Yeah, and how good they judge me, oh, but they don't know. Look at what I did, look at what I started. Look how far I came, dog. I ain't had no guidance. I just did my thing, dog. I just went my hardest, and I'ma go hard regardless. Yeah, I'ma go hard regardless. Yeah, renting my check, I rent on my bag, I did what I did. Yeah, renting my check, I rent on my bag, I did what I did. Yeah, and how good they judge me, oh, but they
They're
don't know.
setting Dylan Gabriel up to take the biggest L out of
Look how far I came, dog. I ain't had no guidance. I just did my thing, dog. I just went my hardest, and I'ma go hard regardless. Yeah, I'ma go hard regardless. Yeah, renting my check, I rent on my bag, I did what I did. Yeah, renting my check, I rent on my bag, I did what I did. Yeah, and how good they judge me, oh, but they don't know. Look at what I did, look at.
morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. What's going on, everybody? Let me get on the screen. There we go. There we go. We in this thing. We in this thing. What's going on, everybody? I see y'all already in the chat. Am I doing my sound check over here? And they showing commercials. They showing commercials of my old stuff. Man, I see what y'all go through. I see what y'all go through. What's going on, everybody? How y'all feeling on this Wednesday? Hopefully y'all are feeling good. We got a great stream lined up for you today. Make sure we looking good. I got my light a little bit closer than I normally do. All right, we're going to get through it. Hopefully y'all are feeling good on this Wednesday. Let me get my other earpiece in. There we go. We all set. Ready to go. Ready to go. Ready to have another good stream. So I like to highlight that the Cleveland media is not the city of Cleveland, and I like to separate the two. So if you've been watching social media that the Browns have been putting out, you've been seeing Spencer Fano. He threw out the first pitch at the Guardians game. You saw Casey Concepcion. He threw out the first pitch at the Guardians game. Then he was at the Cavs playoff game for. So the way you get treated in the city of Cleveland is totally different than the Cleveland media, and I just want to show people and highlight that so people don't lump it all together. You know, don't lump it all together. They are not the same, and most of the people who cover the Browns are not from Cleveland, and they don't live in the city. So just to, you know, separate that for y'all, let y'all know what's really going on, how those guys are being welcomed and received with open arms. I'm also going to show you something cool, how you're able to go to a Guardians game and a Cavs game in the same night or in the same day because they are literally right next to each other. So just going to show y'all some stuff about the city of Cleveland. We're going to talk about some stuff with the Browns. Of course, we got Emory Hunt on the stream today. We're going to take the next step in talking about content creators. So we already defined what a content creator is. Now we're going to talk about the strategy that content creators are using to still get views. The strategies they're still using. That's why the poll question is what it is. The poll question is for a reason, because they have altered the strategy they're using. A couple months ago, I explained the strategy, and I said, this is what they're going to do next. This is how they're going to pivot to get, this is how they're going to pivot to get views. They've done that effectively, and they have become overnight celebrities because other people use them on thumbnails. Other people use them to talk points about. So I'll show you where they were before Shedeur, the content creators, and I'll show you where they are now and how they are using a very smart strategy when it comes to marketing to get themselves in front of the exact people they want to be in front of. So instead of just talking about it, I got to take y'all behind the scenes, and I have to show you what is happening. So I'm going to show you some of the back office stuff in YouTube that, unless you're a content creator, you probably wouldn't even know that this was here. So a lot of times I just say, hey, this is what it is. And that's not enough. Instead of me just saying, hey, this is what it is, I have to take that next step and show you, hey, this is exactly what it is. Take a look. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. No worries. We won't be spending any time reacting to any of the content creators or anything like that. I'm going to show you just from a marketing standpoint how what they are doing is genius. And that's why I was advising people to move away from it. So got a great stream for us today. Great stream for us today. So let's do like only we could do. Let's go to the top of the chat. Let's greet everybody on the way in. Let's talk to everybody. Y'all know how we do it. Hit that like button on the way in, y'all. Hit that like button on the way in. Make sure you're subscribed. If you notice the time has changed or how long you have to be subscribed so you can interact during the chat. So you definitely want to hit that subscribe button. That is one of the reasons to be subscribed over here. If you want your voice to be heard without super chatting, you want to be subscribed so your voice is heard. So let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go to the top of the chat. Let's see who we had in the box first. Let's go to the top. Shout out to Selmo Fudd. Good morning, D. You know how we do, big dog. Cleveland going to show love to the rookies for sure. Let's go Cavs. Let's go Guardians. Let's go Browns. Talk to him, Selmo Fudd.
Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woo, woo. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woo, woo. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Woo, woo.
Talk to him, Selmo Fudd. Top of the morning, everyone. What is going on, Black Pearl? Shout out to you. Good morning, Black Pearl. Black Pearl, as I was putting the stream together, I did see your DM on IG, and I did grab that story. So I will react to it live on stream. So thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for everything that you do, Black Pearl. And happy Hump Day. Y'all remember that Hump Day commercial? What day is it? It's Hump Day. That commercial was funny. Zedric, my dog, what's going on? Good morning, good people. Happy Wednesday. What's going on?
Cole, you stupid.
Yeah, let's go with this one today.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
That ain't it, y'all. C. Brown Run. Good morning, everyone. Go Cavs. Cavs back up in this thing. Cavs said put them brooms up. You won't need them over here. What's going on, C. Brown Run? What's going on? Key Mathis in the building. Hey, what's good? Off the record fam. Happy Wednesday. Feeling great. I'm feeling real good, y'all. Hopefully y'all are feeling good as well. Who we got next? Keith Hunt, Jersey in the building. Good morning, Keith Hunt. Hashtag New Cleveland. Talk to him. I like those hunts, y'all. We got Keith Hunt in the building. We got Emory Hunt on the stream later. Hey, man, I can vibe with the Hunts, man. Me and the Hunts, we get along. Definitely hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button on the way in. Jimi Hendrix, good morning, young people, old people too. Welcome to another day in paradise. Welcome in, Jimi Hendrix. Welcome in. CO7111. Good morning, all. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you as well. Happy Wednesday. Tika, what's going on? Good morning.
I don't think he went to school nowhere. If he went to school, he didn't learn nothing.
Daisha, what's going on? Happy Hump Day, Off the Record family. Good morning, Daisha. Welcome in. Some of us gotta let them know the Cleveland media and the Cleveland city are not the same. They are not the same. So you picking up what I'm putting down, some of us. You know what I'm talking about. Cleveland media ain't worth 2 seconds of my time. That's the energy I'm talking about, Keith Mathis. That's the energy I'm talking about. Good morning, Ms. Brown. Shout out to the rookies. I know they appreciate the love the city is showing them, and you can see that they are happy to be here. They are. Dr. Clyde Marshall, good morning. I only watch and listen to your show. I vaguely watch G. Bush. I don't feel his show. I do like his question to Mary Kay, and she was hot. His question to Mary Kay? I didn't see his question to Mary Kay. I didn't see that. Art Jizzle. Actually, let me do this better. Welcome in, Dr. Clyde Marshall. I started thinking about the question, like trying to figure out. I was lost there. Good morning, Dr. Clyde Marshall. Let me do this right. Art Jizzle in the building. Good morning, chat room. Off the record D. What's going on, Art Jizzle? What's going on? Tool Man, what's going on? Tool Man, how you feeling? What's going on? I seen your post on X. Shout out to you, active over there. Shout out to you, active on X. I see you. Y'all know it's another day. It's another T I gotta show y'all. Y'all know I gotta show y'all another one. All right, let's get this here. Let's do this. Let's start this thing off right. Definitely hit that like button, y'all. All right, so today we got the Stamp Cleveland small logo tee that we have on today. So let me show y'all. Let me get it on camera. You see it here. Oh man, there we go. You see it here. You see it. All right, there you go. You see it. This is the one. This is the one that matches. This is the one that matches the hat I put together. I'm still working on how I'm gonna do the hat release and which way I'm gonna do the hat. So the hats are probably something further in the fall. But this is that Stamp Cleveland. So let me explain to you why we got the Stamp Cleveland. So y'all know we got to go to #NewCleveland.com. Got to go check out the website. All right, let's go. All right, so we've already been through these. We already been through the skyline. We already been through CLE. We already spoke about the gradient. So now the stamped. So Cleveland was a big industrial city in 1900s. So the 1910s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and all the way up. Big industrial city. A lot of steel mills there. Now they have one steel mill that is still up and running to this day. So that's where the theme came from for the stamped, because of Cleveland's industrial history. So let's get it. Why the Stamp Cleveland? The stamped #NewCleveland design represents being from Cleveland and understanding that this is a mentality, not a slogan. It speaks to natives, to people who know the city from the inside, and to those who understand that pride in Cleveland comes with grit, memory, and perspective. Y'all hear that, y'all? That is what the Stamp Cleveland represents. So another day, another T. Check out #NewCLE.com if you want to know the meaning behind each design. Also on that website, you can just click right here and it'll take you right to Offtharecorddee.com. Y'all see it. So hopefully y'all enjoyed that. We explained every design to you, the meaning behind them, how it ties into the city of Cleveland, and why we did it. So definitely check it out. Definitely check it out. What we got? We got somebody who just came in. Who did I miss? Y'all straight capping. Y'all one Mary Kay post away from getting back in y'all fields. Oh, don't do them like that. Or Jizzle, you said they are not that far away. You are not that far away. They are not that far away. A.M. Williams, good morning, D in the chat. Happy hump day. Mike. A.M. Williams, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I wonder if that clip is old enough or if I would get copyright if I played it. I gotta see. Maybe next Wednesday I'll think about playing that clip. I drive and listen to Spotify, and that content creators triggers me with her clearly not understanding what a winning team looks like. If it was up to her, we have 6 QBs and no team cohesion. That's a fact. That's a fact. Selmo Foot know what I'm talking about. Cliffs is on the Cavs uniform. That's for the Cleveland Cliffs. I know about that from the stock market. But shout out to Selmo Foot. Selmo Foot picking up what I'm putting down. So y'all know Selmo Foot, Cleveland native. I'm not just talking out the side of my neck when I'm telling y'all these things about the city. It's a different level of understanding. So hopefully y'all get it. I selected yes unintentionally. I'm not listening to all but bits and pieces. I'm noticing the traps they are setting for themselves. They setting the traps. They setting the traps. All right, let's see how the poll go. Let's end the poll. Let's see how we did, what the numbers come in at. All right, so this should be smooth sailing when we get to that portion of the stream with the content creators, because nobody is watching them. Nobody is looking. Nobody is paying attention to what they got going on. So this should be smooth sailing. Smooth sailing when we get to that portion of the stream. That's what I'm reading from it. That's what I'm reading. All right, let's get this thing going. It's time for motivation. Let's get some motivation, y'all. Let's not wait. Jam-packed show today. Let's get it going. We got change it to one no. Change it. All right, one no. We got one no. A little balance, I guess. We got Les Brown. Whoops, let me show y'all Les Brown. We got Les Brown. I thought this was good. Let's go, Les Brown.
You can either live your dreams or live your fears. And I think the majority of people actually are not living their dreams, but are living their fears. So I want to ask you a question. What are your fears? What are you scared of? Because we all have fears, don't we? We all have something that's blocking us, that's holding us back. As we begin to look at life, what we realize is that the reason that most people are not living out their true potential, are not doing all of the things that they would really like to do, is because of fear. Some people call fear false evidence or expectations appearing real. What are the things that you fear that's been keeping you from living your dream? That's been keeping you from doing some things that you would like to do? Just think about those things. And how do we begin to handle that? Abraham Maslow said that the life is about growth. And he said you can either go back to your comfort zone, and there you won't find any growth, or you must be willing to go forward and face your fears again and again and again.
That is a bar right there. Hey, y'all, don't let the fears control you. Don't let it control you. Shout out to my brother. He has a brand, Never Fear Failure. Never Fear Failure. You can look at it through the lens of Kobe, and you can just say failure is just a lesson for me to get better, for me to push myself further, for me to grow. So I saw this. I was like, all right, that's where we're going. Hey, identify what the fear is. Challenge the fear. If the fear is public speaking, go somewhere, speak in public, see what happens. If the fear is afraid of heights, in a controlled way, go up high in a skyscraper on an elevator. Don't let fears limit you and hold you back. Don't let them hold you back. Don't let them hold you back. Link Your Bros brand. I'm working with him. Zedric. We got to get his website and all that set up. So he was selling his stuff hand to hand. So he was printing up everything, printing up all his merch that he was selling hand to hand. I'm trying to get him up into the new millennium, telling him, hey man, we got to do this thing. You got to do it online. So I'm working with him so he can get his stuff set up. But his brand is Never Fear Failure. Never Fear Failure. But we're gonna get him up and running good. So don't let that fear hold you back. Don't let fear hold you back. Fear can creep up in all different places, all different times, and then you cannot reach your potential. So don't fall for it. I thought this was really good. We got a couple people who got in. Let's see. KC, what's going on? Good morning, D and chat family. What's going on, KC? What up, fam? Just checking in, listening, doing some work. What's going on, 13 Pro Cal? What's going on? What's going on, Tessa? What's up, y'all? I've been on jury duty. Oh, man, jury duty something else.
Well.
Jury duty is something else. That is something else. It's one of those things. Everybody should probably go through jury duty one time just to kind of see how stuff happens in the court. But one time is enough for everybody. One time is enough. So shout out to you, Tessa. Shout out to you. Miss K, what's going on? How you feeling, Miss K? Good morning, everyone. We're going to be good soon. Yes, real soon. Soon come. Let's keep this thing moving because I got quite a few things for us today. We got to talk about them Cavs, y'all. Hey, I even did the Detroit Pistons chant where they were up 2-0. I made sure I wasn't being a sore loser. I said the Detroit basketball chant, but y'all see what it is. Cavs bounced back. They got that spacing right. Donovan Mitchell went crazy in the second half. He went crazy. 39 points in the second half. He went crazy. Cavs went on I believe it was a 24 or 25 point run. It was just a really, really, really good second half. It wasn't similar, but I had thoughts of when LeBron scored, I think it was 24 straight versus Detroit in the playoffs. It made me think of that. It wasn't the same because it was scoring from everybody for the Cavs this year, but it was similar. It made me think of that when LeBron did that. Let's hear from Donovan Mitchell, James Harden.
Or something like that about your first half. What got into you in the second half?
I ain't been on Twitter in so long, Chris. I just told the guys, like, hey, I wasn't getting downhill like I had in game 3. You know what I mean? And sure, yeah, I scored a lot of points, but just trying to find ways to get early offense. And the shot started to fall, but just kind of maintaining my stuff. And the biggest thing was just trying to just create advantages wherever I saw them for the group and, not force things.
James, what was your view of what Donovan did in the third quarter and in the second half?
What was my view? I was on the court, so I had a really good view. But, that's why it's a team game. And, he's been doing a lot of really good things, especially offensively this entire postseason. And to where he isn't going to be perfect, quarters, halves, games. And that's why we have a team to pick him up, So we're down 4. He hadn't played well offensively at all. I think he did some good things. And then second half, he became, more of the aggressor. And so, as players who score the basketball, it's quarters, it's halves. It's going to happen, but that's why you have a team to help him out. In the second half, he just did really good things on both ends of the basketball.
Donovan, Kenny said you said we're not really in a rhythm in that first half, which you said happens, but is that what you felt and kind of what you think led to that?
Yeah, we airballed the first layup, missing shots short. Sometimes it's natural, right? But to James's point, not really trying to force it. I didn't really, you got in the paint, tried to find guys, right? Like, wasn't really trying to get in there and force it. And then just doubling down on the defensive end, trying to, take whoever I'm guarding, take them out of the, the equation. I understand that I'm going to get looks and it's going to fall at some point, even if they didn't, right? Just being aggressive, more aggressive. But I'm not tripping. We were down 4 at half, like, you know what I mean? So understanding that, I always tell y'all it's not just about the scoring. It's about your overall impact on the game. And for me, it was just like, okay, now I have an opportunity to try to get downhill and then start going in.
Yeah. Sorry, just the 20.
Big game for the Cavs. They didn't want to fall behind 3-1. So big game for the Cavs. I'm looking at the chat, and the chat bots they having a competition of who can post the most stuff in a row, because one chat bot posts and the other chat bot posts. It kind of threw me off a little bit right there. Hey, they working for their money, I guess. They working for their money. Let me catch up on the chat, and then we'll listen to a little bit more of this. I think we left off here. No international games for the Browns this year. I saw that. I got that. I think it's next up on the docket. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about that next. Do you have any thoughts on why they didn't go with the Browns? We're going to talk about that next. I disagree. He must categorize the fear or fears. Abraham Maslow created the hierarchy of needs. Maslow used the color race as an experiment. Fear, the HBCUs were post-Civil War. Fear, no. I like that. JC Smith Music, good morning. Offtharecorddee in the chat at the day job. Getting through the day. Hey, rent still due, man. Get to it. You still got to get to it.
Got money.
Get to it. Shout out to you, JC Smith. Thank you for doing that. That was a great game to stamp Bron as all-time great for me. Force of nature. Yeah, that was just, I'll never forget that game. The way they just couldn't stop him. They just could not stop him. Both Detroit and the Cavs haven't been winning many away games. Hopefully the Cavs can take the momentum and run with it. That's what I'm hoping, man. Hopefully the Cavs can take the momentum, run with it. They got to attack. They got to get them in foul trouble. They're aggressive. Detroit Pistons are an aggressive defensive team, so attack them. They'll start to make mistakes. They're also a younger team. You can tire out Cade Cunningham because he has to guard Donovan Mitchell or James Harden. So on the offensive end, he's going to need help. They got guys who don't have the arsenal that he has offensively. So I think the longer this series goes, the more it plays into the favor of the Cavs. So hopefully the Cavs keep their winning ways. Hopefully they keep their winning ways. Maurice, good morning. Good morning. I took the Cleveland media to be a reflection of the overall temperament of Cleveland, and it is very inviting and unwelcome. So I'm glad you made a distinction. Yeah, I know that a lot of people they think they're one, and the funny thing is, so I lived in Cleveland the first 30 years of my life. Lived in Cleveland, born and raised. I never paid this much attention to any of the people in the Cleveland media. And I'm talking about what we did was if I wasn't bartending, which I didn't do it that often on Brown Sundays because I would spend Sundays with my family. We'd all get together, my mom cook and everything. We all watch the game together. So I did not pay this much attention, even though they were covering the team. I didn't pay this much attention to them. So, the ESPN Cleveland was a newer thing. The 92.3 The Fan, the Mary Kay, the Tony Grossi. You might read a column from them back in the day, but they weren't elevated like they are now because we just kind of had our own views of how we viewed the team. That's just how it was. Now you have more people covering the Browns who are representing Cleveland through the media, and it's just not close. It's not close to the same thing. If you go and if Shedeur walks around the city, look at all the love he gets. Casey Concepcion talks about all the love he gets by being out in the city. So it's not the same. Cleveland is a place that really is a big sports town. So people think about the Browns and they just dump on the Browns, but that's not how the city treats its players. That's not how the people of the city treats their players. They treat them with love. They show them love everywhere they go. So it's different. So one thing I'm trying to do moving forward is show people that these two things are not the same. They are not the same. They are not the same. You got some people who are just doing their job and they don't care about the consequences of their words. And you got other people who live in that city every single day and how they view it. And if you speak to people who live in the city, they do not echo the sentiments of most of what you hear from Cleveland media. So I just wanted to separate that. So shout out to you, Jimi Hendrix. I'm glad you mentioned George. Yesterday, I watched the Diggs trial. She was lying in the beginning until the end. Last year, Justin's lady lied on him. Ezekiel Elliott Accuser was cited for lying. Yeah, that's why anytime, even with Quinshan Judkins last year, I know some people jumped the bandwagon and just said, oh, throw him off the team and all this stuff. And I've learned as an adult, you let stuff play out. So I just let it play out. The longer you live, you realize, let it play out and see what happens. And then we let those situations play out and we see what happens. So I'm not going to be the person that an accusation is a thing where I'm just going to dump or pile on somebody. I'm going to say, let it play out. Let it play out in the legal system. And then when the legal system plays out, I'll move forward after that. I think the possibilities of them getting primetime game depends on whether or not they start Shedeur. Black Pearl, I agree with you there. It is all about if Shedeur is starter, they're going to have to put some games on primetime. Cade is a one-man band right now. He is. Loretta, good morning. Welcome in. How you doing? Jalen Duran is taking this series for the Pistons. You know what it is? He's kind of getting exposed for his lack of offensive game. And when they have Evelyn Mobley in the game and they can move Evelyn Mobley around and they can pull him away from the basket, unless they're in their zone defense, he's not gonna get rebounds. Some of this is people want to call players not good and why they can't get rebounds, but you really got to watch it and understand it to see how it goes. If I move the center away from the basket, they have a less likelihood of getting rebounds. It's just very simple. So that's what they're doing with Jalen Duran. He's a force on the board. So what are we going to do? Get him away from the basket as much as possible. People act as if there's no strategy in sports and they just think it's all effort. A lot of it is effort, but also you pair that with strategy, and that's how you can kind of take away what guys do well. So June 11th, World Cup start. Sooner it gets here, the NFL follows soon after. That's a fact. It's right around the corner. Hey, the summer going to pick up quick. It's going to pick up real quick. Derek Spinner, good morning, D in chat. What up, fam? Derek, what's going on? You've got mail. Let's see what we got from Zedric. Let's grab that. All right, got that. All right, perfect. That actually goes into our next story. I can see maybe the NFL has inside track on who's the starter. Hey, if they do, they're going to push Shedeur out there. I've never seen anything like this media before. Easily the worst. Yes, I agree. They can flex game 2 if it comes to it. Yes, later in the season they can't flex games. Maybe they know Shedeur must watch TV for a lot of fans, whether they like him or not. They do know that. Cleveland shows love unless you become persona non grata. Example, when Belichick cut Kozar, or you do something like that. When LeBron left for Miami, he couldn't show his face in town. He couldn't show his face in town until the Cavs went through those 4 years of losing, and then they welcomed him back with open arms. They welcomed him back with open arms once they went through that losing. So, it happens. It happens. I think this is a good series. I think the Cavs and the Pistons is very similar to the series out west with Minnesota and San Antonio. I think if Wemby would have been suspended, I think Minnesota wins that game. I think that's a turning point. I think that's a turning point in that series. So we are watching some series that are going to go a little bit longer. I don't know if San Antonio is going to be able to close it out in 6. We're going to see. But we at least going to get 6 games in the Cavs versus Detroit. So we're going to see. We're going to see. All right, let's keep it pushing. Let's keep it pushing. I think that what I have next is the schedule. No. Oh, so they do record pre-draft stuff. I thought this was funny. Shout out to Colton Hood. I love this interaction. Colton Hood, he got drafted by the New York Giants, but this is some of that pre-draft stuff that we can't find the tapes. They burn the tapes when it comes to Shedeur, but we got the tapes from other guys, so we just gonna appreciate it. Let's go.
How you doing? Nice to meet you. Great to meet you, man. Thanks for joining us.
Sir, of course.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. It's a dream right here.
It's a dream for us too. Thank you. I've seen you play.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Which side do you play? Right, left?
I didn't really play a side. Usually just depending on who's the best guy. My coach made me go to the best guy.
You follow the best guy?
Yes, sir.
Even in the slot?
Yeah.
So we like here. Can you walk us through your celebration? Is it ski mask today? Or
it's just a hoodie because my last name Hood, so I throw the hoodie on.
Sweet. Sweet. That's
that was a ski mask first.
Do you wear contacts during games?
No, sir. These are not prescription. I just wear them.
That's your style?
That's my stuff.
So you wear, you're out there in like awesome rec specs.
Yeah.
What do you think? We gotta rub these in, get some cleaner out there right here.
I saw this interaction on X and I said, man, I gotta play this. So they do have the tapes. You can have good interactions pre-draft. So I saw this and I was like, man, this is really good. You see that energy. They are excited to have him in the room. So this is like those behind the scenes stuff that I like. I like the behind the scenes stuff to show the true interactions. And you see, it's just they're meshing well when they're meeting each other. So I thought this was great. Shout out to Colton Hood. Wishing him a great season and career. Buenos dias, D in chat. Brent, what's going on? What's going on? You believe that and the team knows it is true. Speaking on Shedeur, I agree. If Cleveland does beat Detroit and play the Knicks, lose, you can't most likely expect for LeBron to close it out with the Cavs. Yeah, I would see. I'm not one of those people who say they wouldn't take LeBron. I'm all about doing whatever is best for the team to win. So I'm not against LeBron going back to Cleveland. I know some people, we want to do it without him and all this stuff. Man, nah. And if he want to come back and it's gonna help our team win, come on. Come on. If you just look at the if you look at the Cavs roster, the position that needs to be solidified is small forward. It's small forward. So, hey, Brian, you want to come back? Come on, man. Come on. Whoever wins the last 2 series is going to the finals. I think more battle tested. I don't know, man. I think San Antonio has a better chance against OKC, but OKC's depth they got the depth, they got the experience. I just don't know if a young Spurs team is going to be able to match what OKC could do. I think it'll be the best series. That's how I see it. New coaching staff. Yeah, this coaching staff, they are excited. They are excited for Colton Hood. That's the energy I like to see. Wish that coach was there when Shedeur went through. Hey, Shedeur might be on the Giants. He might be on the Giants if that would happen. Let's get to the schedule. So we got the schedule. This is the international schedule. This is what Zedric was speaking about earlier. So we got the international schedule. So I thought, based on the rumors, let's see, let me get this up. do interact. Here we go. So I thought when we got around here, one of these two games, I thought was going to be. I thought one of these games was going to be the Browns, and then I potentially thought this game in Paris could be the Browns. So I thought it was a potential for the Browns to spend 2 weeks away. I thought it was a potential for them to spend 2 weeks away. That didn't happen, which I'm fine with. I'm not the biggest fan of the 9:30 a.m. game for the Browns. I'm not the biggest fan of the 9:30 a.m. But I would have liked them to get that exposure. But let me say it correctly. Selfishly, I'm happy we don't have those 9:30 a.m. games. If that makes sense to y'all. Me being selfish, I'm happy we don't have those 9:30 games. I gotta be real with y'all. But you check it out. This is the schedule. So yeah, Tool Man, you gotta check out. You got well, on the bright side, you can see Baltimore Tool Man. On the bright side. I'm 1 block away from the arena OKC plays in. Man, Brent, have you ever went to like a playoff game? You ever went to a playoff game there? I know the energy has to be different. Spurs has their number in the regular season. We will see if that matters here. Knicks will be the Knicks. Man, as much as I want to say the Knicks will be the Knicks, I'm hesitant to say that because I think about when people say the Browns is going to be the Browns. I think about that. I think about that. I did laugh why the defense asked the accuser Stephon Diggs without an application. How did you get the job? The accuser said he hired me because of my skills. Brother, stop it. So I'll tell y'all a fun fact about me. When I'm not watching stuff about sports, one of the things I like to watch law and crime sometimes. I like to watch The Lead Attorney. I like to watch stuff like that. And Lead Attorney covers a lot of cases and stuff like that. So I always watch the Lead Attorney's breakdown. So shout out to Dr. Clyde Marshall because I watched it ever since last year when the Lead Attorney was doing those long breakdowns before he had some health issues. I always watch his stuff. I wonder why the Jaguars have 2 international games. The Jaguars, I believe, getting stadium renovations, and they chose to stay out there for 2 weeks because I don't think they're playing their home games in Jacksonville this year, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're playing their home games in Orlando. Let me double check for you. I think that's why they opted to stay there. Let's see. I think I read that somewhere. They playing in Orlando. If I can find it quickly. Nate the Lawyer is good. I like Nate the Lawyer a lot. I like Nate the Lawyer a lot. Nate the Lawyer is good. Nate the Lawyer is good. Let's see. Let me ask a better question. Sorry about the dead space, y'all. Okay. No, I got that wrong. In 2027, they'll be playing. In Orlando. This year, they're going to play in Jacksonville. So I'm surprised they stayed out there. I'm surprised they stayed out there. That's surprising. So I got the years off. My bad. Black Pearl. It's 2027. They're going to be playing somewhere different. I haven't seen a playoff game because tickets are so expensive. Yeah, I bet now, especially like once you win a championship, I know the tickets got to be crazy. Nate is good. Nate is nice. I agree. Kevin Samuels, interview him. Shout out to Nate the Lawyer. He He had to have brain surgery. He recovered very quickly. I'm not going to minimize it that way. He recovered nicely from his brain surgery and was back to creating content. So just glad they were able to catch it soon and he was able to bounce back. So shout out to Nate the Lawyer. I like his stuff. His stuff is good. I used one of his videos last summer when he was breaking down the WNBA, CBA and the negotiations and how it could potentially go. So yeah, I like Nate the Lawyer. Divisional games overseas will be something to get used to. Yeah, they are definitely trying to push. They're definitely trying to push the international market. They're trying to push it. What we got next? This is what, man, I can't stand these websites with all the these websites with all the ads on it. I can't stand it. Shout out to Black Pearl. She sent me this on IG. So of course, you know, they're using the headline to try to grab people's information or grab people's attention. Steelers QB blames Shedeur Sanders situation for day 3 fall in the draft. Now, when you read that title, you're probably thinking, man, that's kind of messed up. But when you actually go down into the article, man, oh man, these ads, come on, man. When you actually go into the article, this is what he said. I thought there was a chance that I was going to go Friday. I was hearing that. I remember talking with some of the guys at the Steelers, and it was really that whole Shedeur situation, kind of him sliding really hurt a lot of the other quarterbacks in our class just because he was ranked a little higher. So nobody wanted to take guys like me, Riley Leonard, Kyle McCord, Quinn Ewers, all of us. You think Riley, me, Kyle, Quinn were all six, seven round picks? So when you really look at it, I don't think it's that bad. I don't think what he's saying is bad. I think the way they titled it could make it seem like he's taking a shot at Shedeur, but I think he just kind of stating out the fact. When Shedeur kept falling like that, after I think it was Milroe, then Dylan Gabriel was the next quarter. Who was it? Was it any quarterbacks drafted in between that? Let's see. Before I quote y'all wrong, let's get it right. Yeah, so I don't think what he's saying is wrong. So you had Jalen Milroe go right before the Browns picked. Then you had Dylan Gabriel go to the Browns. The next quarterback taken was Shedeur in the 5th round. So I don't see any issue. I don't see any issue with what he said. We watched it play out. It was no quarterbacks taken after Dylan Gabriel before Shedeur. So I don't see anything wrong with it. They reimbursed us the home game last season because they counted an overseas game as a home game. I remember, I think that happened with the Browns one year too for people who had season tickets. So interesting that happened with y'all too with the Colts. Interesting, a ripple effect. It impacted the Colorado receivers too. I agree. Milroe, then Dylan, then Shedeur. Shout out to you, Zedric. Yep, I just pulled it up. Milroe is not good. Milroe development at best. He gonna need some years to develop. But I think it's the title is kind of, the title makes it seem as if he kind of throwing Shedeur under the bus. But when you actually read the article, I don't think it's bad what he said. I don't think it's bad. I think it was just this is how I view it. This is what happened. That was a good take by Will Howard. I think Shedeur slide affected a lot of people draft picks, including his receivers. I agree with you. So the title, if you just see the title, you're like, hey, what they talking about? But once you read it, I don't think it's that bad. Let me clean up some of this stuff on my end just so I don't have too many things going at one time. All right, so we have to talk about the content creators, y'all. We got to talk about the content creators. We are not going to look at their content. This is what I want to show y'all. So last week I was saying, hey, don't bring it over here to me when you're watching these other content creators and what they're doing. A couple months ago, I said, hey, with the content creators, the next thing the content creators are going to do is use your interest in Shedeur against you. And what they do is, especially, I'm highlighting them today, ESPN Cleveland, about every 7 days or so, have y'all noticed somebody says something about Shedeur or Shedeur fans, every like 7 to 10 days on ESPN Cleveland, they gets the clicks. Have y'all noticed that? Have y'all noticed that trend? If we go back 14 days ago, they were saying trade Shedeur. 14 days ago, they were saying trade Shedeur. When Shedeur put out the post, they were saying to Shedeur, hey, don't worry about that. Just go focus on playing football, as if he's responding directly to them. So they are using people's interest in Shedeur against him. And I just want to show y'all something. I want to show y'all what these content creators' channels were previously and what they are now, and how now people have turned into microphones for the content creators that they supposedly don't like their takes. And they kind of been baited into doing this. And I've said this previously, and it kind of wasn't received that well. But if we're going to look at this from a marketing standpoint, that's how we're going to look at this from. A marketing standpoint, that is how we're going to look at this. And I'm going to show y'all what they're doing. It's kind of genius, actually. It's kind of genius. I just won't fall for it. What's going on, Craig? Welcome in. Welcome in. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Shedeur spoke up for Will Howard at the draft combine. He did. He did. So if you look at, if you are marketing something and you wanted to reach a target audience, let me pause this real quick. If you wanted to reach a target audience, I'm going to take y'all behind the scenes on what YouTube offers to content creators. I'm going to show y'all something. I know. People won't show y'all this. I'm going to show y'all. So I got it here for you. Marketing genius is how I would categorize these content creators. Let's look at this. So YouTube allows you the ability to promote your post. So as a content creator, I could go to YouTube and I could pay them to promote posts. I'm not sure if everybody knows that, but hey, we're going to learn about it today. So you can promote your channel. You can promote your business. You can promote, I'll show you what you can promote for. Let me not tell you. Let's go forward. So this is, y'all know I just put this post out. So this is something new that I'm showing y'all. Now, new video promotion. New video promotion. What's your main goal? Audience growth, video views, website visits. That's what you can pick. You can pick through those what your goal is. So if you were a sports YouTube channel that is based out of Cleveland, what do you want to do? You want more views. You would have to pay for this. Let's keep it going. Now, who will see your promotion? This is where you go to that next level on marketing. Now, to get targeted marketing, you really got to know your demographics. So you have to know, this is all in YouTube back office. This is what content creators have access to. Locations. You want to target in the United States. Let me change this a little bit for y'all. You want to target in the United States. They got the demographics you can target it to. Just so y'all can see it. Who will see your promotion? What is next? Advanced targeting. This is detailed, y'all. Now you can choose male, female, unknown. You can choose the age range. You could also select the viewer's interest that you want to target to. So you see all these hoops you got to jump through just to get some of that target marketing. You got to do all this to get through that target marketing, to get to the people who you really want to see it, who you really want to see it. Now let's go back to ESPN Cleveland, because they're our example. ESPN Cleveland, let me show you what they were previously. Let's go back 4 years. This is not a knock. Everybody has to start somewhere, but you would assume a brand like ESPN Cleveland, This is when ESPN branched out to all these local cities. So they had an ESPN New York, ESPN Cleveland, ESPN Chicago, ESPN LA. You would think, oh man, they should be able to, get some traction. ESPN Miami. Let's look. 5 years ago, they were hard pressed to get consistent 150 views. Hard pressed, y'all. Hard pressed. With the backing of ESPN. Hard pressed to get views, y'all. I hope y'all seeing it. I hope y'all are seeing it. 8 views. This 5 years ago, 13 views. Now, I want y'all to notice that you're going to start to see some of the same faces that you see now on ESPN Cleveland as we go to about that 4-year range, and they were still stuck in a similar view. It's getting similar views. 7 views, 13 views. Remember, this is not to knock them. This is just to show you what they've been able to do. It's just to show you. Rizzo, 4 years ago, 645 views. Now they're starting to get some views up. They talk about Jake Paul, Tyron Willie when they're about to fight. When they talk about some Browns, y'all see these are the same people. The same people. Y'all see Aaron. Y'all see Rizzo. I can't think of his name. His name is slipping me right now. But y'all see Gerard. These are the same people. Same people, y'all. The exact same people. Now, they're interviewing Baker Mayfield. They only got 311 views. I just want y'all to see this. I want y'all to see this. So, what they realized is I don't have to speak positively of Shedeur to still get views. You want to know why? Because all I have to do is say something crazy about Shedeur, and a lot of channels that are pro Shedeur all of them will react to said comment. So remember all the steps I just showed you. If you go to the YouTube back office, I showed y'all all the steps you got to go through to get that targeted marketing. What they have learned is all I have to do is say something positive about Shedeur or say something negative about Shedeur. And a lot of the pro Shedeur channels will react to it. That's why I stopped saying the main content creator's name last week. That's why I was begging with people, hey, if you either stop watching it or if you are going to watch it, don't bring it to me, because you have then became the marketing firm for the channels that you supposedly do not like. You became the marketing firm for them because they would have to spend so much money for you to get their videos in front of people who believe them. They would spend so much money to do that. So much money to do that. So if you ever wonder why I always say, man, hey, stop watching it. Don't fall for it. Even the people who are reacting to what they do, they have turned themselves into microphones for the people that we supposedly don't agree with their views. So you see how they have just took the other side of marketing. And I noticed that if I just say, hey, don't watch it, just saying don't watch it, it doesn't really matter, because you got to see it in numbers what you turned them into. So this is a channel backed by ESPN that couldn't consistently get over 100 views, and they really couldn't get over 1,000 views. Let's see where they are now that they've used this approach. 5K, 8.9K, 18K. Look at what happens when they still talk about the Guardians, 285 views. What happens when they talk about the Browns and quarterbacks, 8.9 views, 6.2K. Remember where they started, y'all. This is marketing genius. Marketing genius, y'all. Marketing genius. So This is why I don't say these people's names. This is why I don't react to their content anymore, because one day it just clicked and I said, I'm doing targeted marketing for them. This is why I don't say their names. This is why I call them content creators, because they're doing it for views and your attention. So I know y'all was probably thinking, oh man, we gonna really look into it. No. I want it to be very clear. I want it to be very clear what is happening, why I take such a hard stance on people who are still falling for the trap of reacting to their content. If you got 10,000 subscribers and your views average 10, let's do it better. Say you got 50,000 subscribers, you average 10,000 views on your videos, and then your last 20 videos are about people who you supposedly don't agree with what they say. You are now the marketing arm of that content creator. You are now the marketing arm. So when I say cut it out, don't watch them, don't fall for it, this is the next level that they've taken. So I just had to break this down and show y'all, so y'all don't think like, oh man, it's coming from a place of why you saying something about this content creator versus this content creator. This is why. This is why, y'all. They are, instead of the Cleveland media being the Cleveland microphones, they are now the microphones for the Cleveland media. The only reason why I can call it genius is because it works. I only call it genius because it works. And if you are the person that speaks against it, people look at you crazy. And I'm like, how do y'all not see this? How do y'all not see how they doing y'all? So that I'll only call it genius because it works and it's effective. And if you go look at a lot of channels, who is on their thumbnail? Who are they talking about? Who are they highlighting? What does it matter if you never click on a video of Tony Grossi, but the content creator you watch reacts to the last 30 Tony Grossi videos? Remember, last week I said everybody plays the fool. I played the fool. I fell for this trap last year. If y'all notice, I've been trying to tell y'all in subtle ways, hey, moving forward, I'm not going to be reacting to these content creators. I've been telling y'all that for a while now, saying, look, I got to move away from it because I realized that they got me, y'all. I became the marketing arm for them. So I said, you know what? Let me make it plain and show y'all what they're doing. Make it plain. So protect yourself, y'all. Protect your peace. Protect yourselves. Protect your peace. I just wanted to show y'all the next wave and what's happening. Just want to show y'all the next wave. I want to show y'all the next wave. So this is where they kind of they're getting some people. I'm not gonna say getting y'all. They are getting some people this way. So protect yourselves. All right, let me catch up on the chat. Let me get them off the screen. Let's see what we got next. All right, we got Emory Hunt next on the docket. All right, so let me catch up on the chat. Hopefully y'all picking them, but I'm putting down. I just wanted to break it down and show it to y'all. All right, so let's see where we at. The content creators that supposedly support Shedeur knowingly rage bait their own subs when they do videos on Cleveland media, so they just as bad. I'm just trying to show y'all. I don't like the saying how the sausage is made, so I'm trying to show y'all how the gumbo is made. This is how the gumbo is made. You know how much money it would cost if I wanted to promote and have my videos directly targeted to people who I know support Shedeur? It would cost so much money. They flipped it on his head with how they did it. Yep, guaranteed clicks and views that you can pay for. They also can lead to organic views after building momentum. JC Smith, I agree. I think I'll block most of Cleveland media on X and most of the channels on YouTube, even some supposedly pro Shedeur channels. You, G. Bush, Mad Dog, about the only I view. Or Jizzle said he ain't rocking with Mad Dog. Lima admitted last season that they have more traffic because of Shedeur. They do. So I just wanted y'all to see the game that they're playing. That's the game that they're playing. That's the game that they're playing. Remember, Maurice, if you wasn't here early, separate the city from the media. The media is what it is. The media and the town are different. That's what we did early in the stream. We separate them. They're different. So ESPN Cleveland was non-existent. We got to stop this, y'all. If they're going to trash Shedeur, we have to use our power to stop them. And I'm just putting it out there. Not to mention, they are laughing at us. Yes, they are laughing that they get the views. Laughing that they get them. He left the video up so he can get paid. Oh, I don't know what happened with that. Okay. What's up, D? I was in the cut. Break down the rage baiting economics. Ignore the clowns. You have to, man.
We do not care.
We have to, y'all. We have to. Just look at the game they're playing. You can't really defend if you don't know the proper game that they're playing. You can only defend when you know exactly what they're doing. If you're just out there guessing what they're doing to you and you don't even realize it, all they did was said, okay, I can just press this emotional button and I can press this emotional button, and then it multiplies into all these people reacting to it. That's what they did. So, hey, I'm not hating on content creators. I'm just letting y'all know how it works. Can't call it genius. It's like Wall Street manipulating the market. Hey, it's part of the game. It's part of the game. And man, the market get manipulated all the time. Unfortunately, the market gets manipulated all the time. I agree. Stop clicking, engaging, and forwarding these content creators. That's it. Becoming microphones for them. Y'all better be careful who y'all support with your views and y'all money. I agree. But some people don't want to hear the truth about certain people. Oh, man. I have not seen the ESPN Cleveland video in almost 2 months. Yeah, it's not really no point in watching them. They only hollered to get that dollar. Talk to him, Selmo, for it. Talk to him. I called them clickbaiters, not content creators. That's too polite. You said that's too polite, Ivy League Mac. It's too polite. They give Grossy all kinds of grace if he says anything positive about Shedeur. He's always been measured when he says anything positive, according to me. Yeah. That's why I don't just jump on the train of anybody who says something positive about Shedeur. I have my own views of Shedeur. So every person I can't just highlight because they say something good about Shedeur. Because people have different agendas. D, I picked it up. I pick it up what you put it down and stop clicking that part. Facts. That's what it is. Genius might be a reach because Shedeur kind of fell to them. Then they discovered the Shedeur effect. Yeah, if you disagree with Genius, I get it. I just said that from a marketing standpoint. But if I'm not gonna get caught up on the word genius, I won't. D, keep exposing these Cleveland media clowns. We must stop being reactionary and respond by ignoring them. Do not click. Stop clearing what they say. That's a fact. Marie, what's going on? Good morning, everyone. Mute Cleveland media.
Everybody stay on that side when they switched up. You switched up, stay on that side, man.
That's it. What's going on, Marie? Welcome in. It's not even hard. Everybody doing a video on the same show clip. Once you heard one, you heard it all. That's a fact. That's why, if y'all heard, I said I enjoy when I show y'all something that I think y'all probably haven't seen before. That's my creative side. That's my creative side coming out where I can show you something new. Because, yeah, we got different perspectives and how we speak on it. But if we all are just showing you the same thing, I mean, you're not really getting that much value once it's the fifth person saying the same thing. I'm actually having a good, calm day today. I got another meeting today that y'all will be coming with me too. We got you, Latika. We got you. We're going to keep you entertained. Hold on. Why my chat just jumped? Let's see. What is going on, Shanithia?
Broncos country, let's ride. Broncos country, let's ride.
Come to Offtharecorddee, where we going to read your super chats. Your voice is going to be heard. What's going on, Shanithia? Welcome in. Good morning, family. Welcome in. Kim put the media and genius in the same sentence. I refuse to do that. I got an uncomfortable argument about that, but we don't have to do it. I got an uncomfortable argument about it because I would say I'm not going to go on a long tangent about this. I would say this. I would just ask the question. Can you call something genius if it is very effective? That's what I would ask. I would just ask that question, and then we'll keep it moving. It's not going to turn into the sabotage debate or nothing like that. It won't. It won't. I'll just say, can you call it genius if it's very effective? And this is whether you agree with how or what they did or not. So I would just pose that question, but we don't got to go back and forth for a long time about it. There are certain channels I already have on the do not recommend list so that I won't see them. That's the way to go. That's the way to go. That's the way to go. That's not a good content creator in my opinion. I might have missed the message before that. Okay, I might have. All old Cleveland media content creators are talking about is the QB we picked at the end of the draft. There's a lot more to be excited about with our team and draft picks this year. I agree. Our jizzle is picking up what I'm putting down. It is genius if they continue to have Shedeur fans making them famous and paid. That's kind of my point with the genius part. Are you judging it because you don't like it? Are you judging it because you don't like what they're doing? But if it's effective, once it becomes effective, that's an uncomfortable conversation. That's an uncomfortable conversation. If it works consistently, even when you don't like it, it is genius. That's the perspective I'm coming from, JC Smith Music. There's a group of content creators I have to scroll past as well for that same reason. I agree with that. So I'll say this and then we'll wrap up the content creator piece of this. So for me, I have taken the approach that I'm trying to be as true to the people who support and watch me as I can. So I'm trying not to clickbait y'all, rage bait y'all, put Shedeur on every thumbnail, make every show highlight something with Shedeur. I've been trying to do that. And hopefully y'all notice it because it's just not me not seeing these things. It's me taking the approach that I'm not trying to bring life to those things. So there's a quarterback going through some rough things in his life. If you notice, I rarely spoke about him. So it's steps that I take. You know what I'm saying? It's steps that I take. But hopefully y'all notice those steps I take to make sure that I am as transparent as I can be with what I'm doing because I appreciate y'all supporting y'all time. So it's steps that I take. I see we talking about the microphones and the content creators cycling on the same topic for the past couple of weeks. Aren't you tired? Miss Seeley. The help. Thank you. See? Hey, y'all. Thank you, Shanithia. Help me out. Help me. Help me. Let me know where the reference coming from. I appreciate you. Rashida, good morning. Hashtag New Cleveland family. Good morning, Rashida. From the outside looking in, I was really questioning the safety of black people in Cleveland. Now I can rethink my visiting Cleveland. My family still live in Cleveland. My family still live there. If people only harp and highlight the negative, then you would think the whole thing is negative. You would think it is nowhere you can go to be safe. And then you torn because you're looking at it like, man, I want to go and experience a Browns game in Cleveland. And then you nervous and you're like, dang, am I going to be safe? You know what I'm saying? Can I walk around? Can I move around? Is people going to treat me funny, look at me funny? And I would say you can be safe in Cleveland. There's places you can go to be safe. And Jimi Hendrix, Jimi Hendrix, if you are thinking about planning a trip to Cleveland, like to go to a game or anything like that, I'm not sure if you're on any other social media, but if you're on any other social media, you can DM me and ask me questions and say, hey, does this look like a safe place for is this a good area for me to stay in? Is this when you're looking for hotels and stuff like that? So you can definitely reach out to me on any other social media you have. Just DM me, Jimi Hendrix. Just DM me. This creators play the game but get in their feelings when people respond. That click comes with consequences. Besides you, G Bush, and sometimes Mad Dog or B Watts, I don't click. Yeah, that's your value. The value is in not clicking. A lot of people are eating off Shedeur, but at the same time, they hate him. Shaking my head. This kid has done nothing to deserve this. He's my quarterback. Wrist up. Hashtag New Cleveland. Talk to him. I gotta up my game. Maybe I should have got the AP swatch. That was funny how they did that and had people believing they was gonna come out with an AP watch, but maybe I should have got that. Where we at? A lot of people, I got that one. Live Gratefully 247. Good morning. Good morning. Like Bruce Lee said, the art of fighting without fighting. Yeah, that's why some of the stuff I won't even bring it up. It's not that I don't see it. It's not that I don't see other people using it as a hot topic. I just won't bring it up. I won't bring it up. Just because they stumbled upon the increase, it doesn't mean it's not genius. They're clearly keeping it going. Yeah, that's why I said I won't get too caught up on the genius part. But I can understand why somebody wouldn't want to call it genius, and I see why I call it genius. So, at times, some things still have to be addressed regardless. Yeah, Maurice, I think I address all the things that make sense to address from my perspective. Some of it, I just don't really see it worth addressing. Like adding a fifth quarterback, giving up our early pick in a potential supplemental draft, that was not worth me talking about. that was not worth me talking about. So I was like, yeah, I ain't gonna do that. Charmaine, hardest working woman in Ohio. What's going on? Downtown Cleveland has the best spots, but a little pricey. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be pricey. If you comfortable driving a little bit, I would say if you can find one of the suburbs surrounding Cleveland, that's going to be better for you, and then drive down into the game. You're going to deal with some traffic, but I would say you can balance out the cost that way. What games are we planning to buy tickets to? Who on here from Cleveland that plan events or can coordinate to help us out? If y'all got questions, in Patreon, I can always help you out a lot if y'all looking at areas to go to stay in, to be at, I can always help y'all out with that. But if anybody else is here can help, if anybody else is here that can help, definitely let them know. That's the vibe the media projects. However, I will reach out to you before I visit. That's for certain. All right, cool. I'll be looking forward to it, Jimi Hendrix. Looking forward to it. I often will press the three dots, and thus I will press not interested. The pressing of not interested is calculated too. Talk to him, Dr. Clyde Marshall. Talk to him. Shedeur has to be like water. That's a fact. I like that. Y'all bringing up Bruce Lee. I like it. I like it. The trap is they're overly negative about him when you've made your bones that way. What do you do when there's nothing negative to react to? Creating Boogeyman will run his course too. Talk to him, Cedric. Talk to him. I attempted to watch Get Up Again, and Riddick and another black analyst let me know to put them back on the no-watch list away. They discounted Shedeur was crazy. Hope Prime is deleted numbers. Yes. Okay, D, I will tomorrow on Patreon. I believe that's what you meant to say instead of payroll. Tickets going to sell tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. 7:30 p.m. Tickets going to sell. Schedule releases out. Very excited for that time tomorrow. Very excited for it. Very excited for tomorrow. Let's keep this thing pushing along. We got Emory Hunt talking about the draft class. Talk to him, Emory.
I mean, first of all, it's the second year in a row they had a ton of draft picks. Secondly, it feels like they crushed it. And I'm not the draft analyst you are, but let's talk Cleveland Browns. Started in round 1 where they traded down from 6 to 9 and took the number 1 offensive lineman, evidently on their board because he was the first offensive lineman to get drafted, Spencer Fano from Utah. And then later on in round 1, they took Casey Concepcion, the wide receiver from A&M, Emory.
Yeah, and I'm gonna add Denzel Boston too to this core right here, because that's a high second round pick. So Fano was my number 3 tackle, but you know how I felt about Mari Noah and Freeling. I had a high grade on Fano too, so he was 1 point different than Freeling, so it's not that much of a difference. So Fano was a great pick. And I love the fact that he has, the footwork, the quickness, all the things you want to see from a tackle, and he's going to be a plug-and-play player for them. My number 2 Z receiver was Casey Concepcion. People look at the wrong things, but that's what makes you different as an analyst, as an evaluator, because you can kind of parse through certain things. They kept talking about drop percentage. When I can notice if someone drops a ball, whether they can still catch, they have good hands or not. I think a lot of people really hang on the percentage as opposed to actually looking how a guy drops the ball. The same thing with Jamar Chase. Like, I had no questions about his hands. I don't care how many drops he had in minicamp practice. Like, you could tell he got good hands. I could tell Casey Concepcion can catch the football. That's a great pick for them. Plug-and-play starter again. And Denzel Boston was my number 1 inside wide receiver. Compared him to Marcus Colston. And when you think about a guy that could play short or win short, win at the intermediate level, win at the deeper level of the field. Talk about revamping this offense, man, in an off season, in 2 off seasons. Like, this was insane for Cleveland to get. And I'm on the record doing something with the Browns in terms of like being on their show. Well, I mentioned stacking Casey Concepcion and a Denzel Boston in a draft. So I'm glad it worked out because I look like a genius.
Talk to him, Emory. Talk to him. Talk to him, Emory. I like what Emory Hunt. He keeps it on football. Everybody was nervous. Everybody was nervous about Casey Concepcion. They said the drops. And I was like, those are concentration drops where you're looking to turn up field. And I like the fact that he compared that to Jamar Chase, who, when he was in rookie camp, his rookie year in Cincinnati, he was like, oh, I just got to get used to the football. It's a little bit different, looking at the lines on the ball and all those things. And I was like, man, that's true. It's an adjustment period. It's never came up again about Jamar Chase, and Jamar Chase don't catch everything. So he catches a lot. But when you produce to that level, man, what's a few drops? Like, it's not the end of the world if a receiver drops a pass. It's not the end of the world if a quarterback gets sacked. It's not the end of the world if a quarterback throws an interception. It's not the end of the world if a tackle gets beat. It's part of the game. It will happen at different times. Just being able to look at it and determine, can this guy not catch, or was he turning upfield early? Was he thinking about his next move? So it's just, those are the type of things that I think about when I look at football or I'm looking at film. And shout out to Emory Hunt breaking it down. I like it. Let's catch up on the chat, then we'll move it forward. Autocorrect is crap. It's all good. I read to understand. Either get there early because we have restaurants by the stadium and it's a spot right across the stadium where it's all food and drinks, but you have to pay in advance. I like that. D, you have a good channel and content, clean and genuine. Educating your chat is what's up. Like kids don't miss home until the rent is due and the fridge is empty. That's a fact. I'll be here for Kuiper, getting on him. Oh, talking about get up. The supplemental draft bull junk. That's why I didn't speak on it. Is worth it for the 4:30 games. Oh, the afternoon games. Hope Emory realizes he's a draw and gets his own show, or does he have one already? I don't know if he fully has his own show. I know he has a YouTube channel. It's called The Football Game Plan. I don't know if he does his own show or if he does features like on Ross Tucker, CBS. I know he does a ton of features. I can't remember if he does his own show still. He did in the past. D, are you having a show tomorrow to talk about the Browns schedule, or are you discussing it Friday? I'm going to discuss it on Friday because it's going to be 7:30 Eastern Standard Time for me. So it's into the evening as I'm starting to put together my stuff for my stream the next day. So I'm going to discuss it on Friday. I'm discussing it on Friday. I like Emory Hunt. I like Emory Hunt too. I'm good with that one. Yeah, I'm good with that. I don't rock with Ross Tucker. He shaded to me when it comes to Shedeur, so he can stay on the other side. I agree with you. If you notice,
Everybody stay on that side when they switched up. You switched up, stay on that side, man.
Ever since he's talked about his grandfather putting a hit on Coach Prime, I couldn't look at him the same way. I couldn't look at him the same way since Ross Tucker said that. I couldn't look at him the same way. The consensus with KC is that they don't think the QB play was good. A lot of meat was left on the bone, so KC was probably overthinking his moves before the ball came. Yeah, I agree with that. Where we at? And Chase isn't a burner, but stay getting open. Stay getting open. That's why when people was just focusing so much on speed, I was like, it's so much more to NFL offense than just speed. So much more to it. We're going to get this on next. He primarily does features. He does a lot of features. It's funny how the real talent is the guests while the gatekeepers are not. Hey man, everybody can't get up here and do it on their own. Everybody can't do it on their own. I have learned Emory is one of the very few analysts who have the knowledge and confidence to speak what he knows. The majority are just cycling what they hear. Is quite disappointing. Yeah, it's one of those that once you hear it, you can't unhear it. When you realize they're just repeating things, you cannot unhear it. Evelyn, what's going on? Good morning, D in chat. D, you've been in your bag lately, destroying the media. The ex-NFL player. I appreciate you more than you know. Shout out to you, Evelyn. Welcome back in. He was way too comfortable to tell that story. Yeah, he was too comfortable to tell that story, and I couldn't believe UCSS didn't cut that out of their stream. Like, I was surprised because, man, if somebody came on my stream and told that story, man, I'm cutting that. And I'm saying, hey, that's his views. I don't agree with it. I didn't like it, but they left it up. So Boston was in the same boat too. Yes, if you look at Denzel Boston, if you look at Casey Concepcion, a lot of times they had to contort their body, twist, turn, spin to catch the ball, and that shows you that the quarterback is not that accurate or not placing the ball in the proper place. Just not putting the ball in the proper pace. So you'll see that a lot when looking at them in college. Okay, Adam Schiller is reporting D. Hopkins is about to be signed by the Browns. I hate to say, I actually love saying, I told y'all so. Hey, shout out to you, Ivy League Mac. Let's see what we got for you. We got to give you a victory lap. We got to give you that victory lap. Ivy League Mac. Ivy League Mac said, flip the room. And you were correct. They are flipping the room. So, hey, shout out to you, Ivy League Mac. I'm not above saying, hey, I was wrong. You were right. Ivy League Mac. Shout out to you. That's why 40 times are misleading. I agree. 40 times are misleading. What's your take on why RG3 was released? He left Shedeur. Are you asking why he was released from ESPN, or be a little bit more specific, Dr. Clyde Marshall? And everyone who says was on the panel when Ross said it live, they thought it was funny. After that, I side-eyed a particular person. Yeah, when I saw that, I didn't think it was a laughing matter. I didn't think it was a laughing matter at all. That you would put somebody in harm's way because you don't like them, you don't like their personality. I don't take that as a laughing matter because I always bring it back to myself. Now, would I take it as a laughing matter if somebody wanted to bring harm to someone close to me? No. So I wouldn't take it as a laughing matter with someone else wanting to bring harm to someone else. And this is somebody you don't know, you never met personally, you just don't like their energy. No, that's not a laughing matter to me. Not to me. Exactly. I can't hear or unsee it. Shanithia, do you remember it was a time where I said, once I tell y'all this, you're not going to be able to unsee it? So I'm usually hesitant. When I tell y'all or expose certain things, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. I'll give you an example. I know Arjizzle like this. I said, look, hey, it's people watch my live streams. If I get over 1,000 views, you'll hear things that I say in other people's live streams. I just said it. Now, you can't unhear when you know the origin story around why I say certain things and you hear somebody else try to say it. I just laugh. I'm at peace with it. But you can't unsee it because you know, man, you didn't come up with that. They see nothing wrong with it. I agree. Your show is the only one I set time aside to view. Thank you so much. Hey, thank you, Jimi Hendrix. I appreciate that. Thank you. You can't blame a guy based on what his grandfather says. I can blame him for feeling comfortable enough to tell the story. I can blame him for feeling comfortable enough to tell the story. Like, it's one thing your grandfather said it. Everything is not meant for you to run out there and amplify the story. Everything is not meant for you to run out there and amplify the story. So I would not amplify that story. I think Boston will be the steal of this past draft. Denzel Boston is a person that early on in the process I identified the type of receiver I wanted. I remember, I believe it was the Pro Bowl stream, and I said, Shedeur feels very comfortable with Nico Collins. We should go get him a Nico Collins style receiver. And I said Nico Collins style because I didn't believe we will be able to acquire Nico Collins. We drafted Denzel Boston. That's the kind of view everybody has with him. I could have went on a long victory lap of showing everybody who wasn't the biggest Denzel Boston fan leading into the draft. I did it. I took the high road that time, and I just said, hey, I like Denzel Boston. So even if y'all don't think I take the high road sometimes I take the high road. Sometimes I do. G. Bush sat there and laughed. Hey, I didn't think it was a laughing matter. I saw you post a Q on the Patreon, so I took my post down. Shout out to y'all. Y'all have an imprint or an impact on the stream, and hopefully this is another way that your voice is heard because it's stuff that you're interested in. Actually, we talk about it on stream. So shout out to everybody active on Patreon. I too endeavor in listening and watching Emory Hunt. Could you do a 30-minute spot on Tuesday and Thursday? You have us spoiled. I'll say this. This fall, I have some big things planned. So some of the stuff that I have planned, or most of the stuff that I have planned, is going to be pouring into the people who support on Patreon. The people who support on Patreon. So just to give you a hint, when the Browns game film is available, we're going to be on Patreon live stream breaking down Browns film this season. That's just an example of something that's going to happen on Patreon, and that's going to be most likely on Tuesdays because 48 hours after the game is usually when it's available. So the additional streams will go to Patreon. It's optional if you go over on Patreon, but I'm just letting y'all know I'm really going to pour into the people who supported me on Patreon, especially from the beginning. So the additional streams, that's where they're going to end up. The additional live streams going to end up on Patreon. So decide if that's where you want to be, if you want to have that additional support, but Patreon that's where it's going to be. Count your days, Janky. Yeah, shout out to Loretta with the Janky name. Yeah, he gonna have to put in that work. RG3 does college football. He does do college football. But I remember he was part of the people who kind of got let go from ESPN before he went to college football. That's why I was wondering if he was asking about that. I'm glad you said it, but people still make excuses as to why he doesn't push back on certain BS that is said on UCSS. Man, I'm gonna let y'all have your conversation. Shadithia remembers when I said you won't be able to unsee it. Where we at? Let's see. We will see what's up with Fano gets his welcome to the NFL moment versus Gary. Every player gets one, and we know what we got after. I agree with that. I hope Denzel is Nico Collins for Shedeur. I think he can be. Jerry is gone. Tika said he's out of here. Watts will be traded at mid-season, traded deadline because teams will be thirsty for a veteran QB. That's a possibility, especially when most of the money has been paid to him. Laugh out loud, y'all lamb roasted. Oh, okay, got you. Y'all lamb roasted a brother for saying get a veteran as Judy Insurance, Hopkins or Dotson. Hey, come with the receipts. Ivy League Mac. I like it. You know I like bringing the receipts. Come with the receipts. Good old boy comments. Is that what we're talking about right now from that former player? Yeah, I think we're talking about Russ Tucker. Yo, I want my victory lap at 510 wins. I needed to coincide with my Johnny Walker Black that I'm about to win. On Friday's stream, we're gonna have people put in how many games they think the Browns are gonna win, and then we're gonna have fun with it on Friday. So I'm already thinking about Friday's stream. Remember, he was throwing it to Nico and Sutton during Pro Bowl. Shedeur definitely gonna give his big wide receiver a chance to high point in the end zone. I agree with that. Boston is like a Larry Fitzgerald, big solid catch radius, blocking big red zone receiver. Excuse me. He was talking about, actually in the interview we have, he's talking about how he is a proud blocker and takes pride in it. So I'm happy. He was proud to repeat it, so I think he feels the same way. Ooh. Where we at? Yes, we in there, Patreon family. Look, y'all. I'm just gonna tell y'all this. Patreon, as a thank you for how y'all have supported me, I'm be pouring into the Patreon peeps. The season starts. I'm pouring into Patreon. So it's optional if you want to go over there to a paid tier, but I'm definitely gonna be pouring into Patreon. I have some exciting things on the way for Patreon in the fall. Exciting things. Did we discuss a potential fantasy football league? I think we talked about it a little bit because I remember Toolman brought it up. I would just say this. Based on the things I have coming up for Patreon, I definitely will not have the time to manage it. I won't have the time to manage it. But if somebody else has a league they want to manage and they're like, hey, we want you to join, I could potentially be open to joining the league, but I'm not going to have time to manage the league because of what I got coming special for the Patreon crew. Najee Bush, well, dang, he's off my watch list. So D, you're going to have more stream times. Hey, I say watch who you watch. Just protect your peace. By his grandfather saying that, imagine how and what was done to players like Jim Brown, Walter Payton, Gale Sayers, and black players of that era. Tell the truth and shame the devil. I agree. That's why, even though he said it, I wouldn't have repeated that. The stuff that you say, you become attached to it. So I say to y'all, I think about what I'm going to say before I come on stream. I can't get up here and freestyle, because when you just get up here and freestyle, you will put your foot in your mouth way more times than you want to. Good afternoon, family. Now the pressure's on me and I'm thinking about it, so I don't want to mess it up. What's going on, Marvin Woodbury? Texarkana in the house. I probably messed it up. I'm sorry, man. I'm just going to give myself the buzzer early because I'm sorry, Marvin. I saw a clip late last night on my Google feed. Let me know. When Texas traded Watson, best receiver, to Arizona, it's why Kyle Murray had so much early success. Two solid receivers that have huge catch radius. Hopkins was a playmaker at that time. I agree. I must have missed something because I didn't see G. Bush laugh at the comment. I thought he looked uncomfortable when Ross said it, but the other guys did laugh. D-Hop definitely ain't dropping passes. Plus, they going to attach Hopkins to Watson. I agree. He's what Timmer was supposed to be. I agree. I am giving G. Bush grace. He has some really good content and education in life and football, except with a couple of guests who know nothing about or on. D and G. Bush are the only ones I listen to. Thank you for that support, Shanithia. Shout out to you. Oh, yeah, someone has to manage it. I love to be a part. Yeah, if somebody manage it, I'm open to it, but like, I got some special stuff coming up for y'all. Special stuff. It's so much competition in that wide receiver room, but I bet the microphones won't talk about that competition. That's if y'all want to know the biggest competition is going to take place, I believe it's going to be the wide receiver room, probably center and right guard on the offensive side. And tight end. I'm sorry, tight end too. Because after Fandon, we got a bunch of tight ends. So it's going to be tight end. It's going make sure I said that right. Right guard, center and right guard. Center and right guard. Let me catch myself. Center, right guard, tight end, wide receiver. Competition. That's where I'm seeing the competition play out. That's where I'm seeing it play out. People don't want to talk about it. We're going to talk about it, though. We're going to talk about it. Y'all, give me just a moment. We got some more to the show. We got some more to the stream. Give me just a moment. I will be right back. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Thank you to the Patreon peeps. I'll be right back, y'all. We are back. We are back. Shout out to y'all for staying with me. Let me get my earphones back in. All right, there we go. We back. So to avoid our Jizzle saying I got cotton mouth, I'm trying to stay hydrated, so I'm drinking a ton of water before I start the stream. But then I got to build in a break here because I don't want to end up with cotton mouth. It's time to talk about the Browns and the new energy. The new energy. Where we at? We are here.
Let's get ready to rumble!
All right, y'all. We're talking all things Browns. Let's catch up on the chat, and then we'll go to all things Brown. Let's see. Where do we leave off? Nope. And we still need to establish a nickel corner outside of Emmanuel. Okay, got you. I would say Zed and Black Pearl over in Patreon. I thank y'all for always entertaining my foolishness. Have a good time over there. We have a good time. Man, I'm in enough leagues, plus I manage a league. Or just managing a league is not for the weak. It's not for the weak. I've been seeing people say Zion will be a right guard, but that makes no sense. He's never played there in the league. Yeah, I remember you correcting me, and you were right, Zedric. He's going to be left guard. Royer isn't the guy who caught and broke Travis Kelce college records. He is. I need to keep up with Dallas like I am with Cleveland. It's crazy. That is how invested I am in seeing Shedeur's success. But I just got lucky and Shedeur ended up coming to the Browns. But if Shedeur was somewhere else, I would be locked in too. Could you present your takes on Juju in Colorado? Yes. Let's do this. I'm going to add that to overtime because I want to get to the Browns now. Then we're going to talk about Colorado. Wish it was August already. Me too. It's a new energy in Cleveland, and I like the way they highlighted this. So, let me alter this slightly because the Browns are highlighting their guys, y'all. The latest guy they highlighted was Quinshan Judkins. So let's get to it.
Rookie rushers in yards and touchdowns. The answer, it's Q, as in Quinshan Judkins. So how did the Buckeye standout become an early star for the Browns? Quinshan grew up in Pike Road, Alabama, a natural learner, teaching himself whatever grabbed his interest. Baseball? Check. Fishing? Check. For some, it takes a while to excel in a skill. But for Quinshan, football came naturally. From an early age, he always had a football in his hand. After winning 3 straight regionals, his high school lifted the Alabama State Championship his senior year. But with 33 full-ride offers, there was plenty more on the horizon. At Ole Miss, he rushed for 2,725 yards and 31 touchdowns, was named SEC Freshman of the Year, and was first-team All-SEC both seasons in Mississippi. In 2024, he transferred to The Ohio State University, showing he could learn how to stay productive in a committee backfield as well. In Columbus, he tacked on another 1,060 yards rushing, 14 touchdowns, and the national championship to his resume. Another skill mastered. When it came to draft night, Judkins had fans in both rooms.
With Q, rugged run style, I'm sure a lot of people in this room have seen him at Ohio State this year. Really a bell cow, versatile runner who can run through you, run by you, run around you.
Before a season-ending lower extremity injury, Q led rookies with 784 yards and 7 touchdowns. Now, the Alabama native is deep in the rehabilitation process to get back where he belongs, in front of the dog pound.
I'm excited for Quinshan Judkins this year. I think the weapons we added on the outside are going to keep 2 safeties back, and that's going to open up run lanes for him. That is going to open up run lanes for him. So I'm very excited for the Browns this year. The Browns it's a new energy. #NewCleveland. It's a new day in Cleveland. Hopefully y'all are enjoying this energy. Hopefully y'all enjoying it. D-Hop did not sign with the Browns. Kevin Shorts, thank you for the update. Thank you for the update. I've been with Shedeur since he was 6 years old. Shout out to Evelyn. She said she's been riding for a long time. Announcement, the D-Hop statement might be fake news. I can't refine the story that I saw late last night. It's all good. It happens to the best of us, Ivy League Mac. It's all good. It's all good. Why I see Yahoo Sports saying he's interested in the Bengals. I like these videos that the Browns put together about their players. I like it a lot because they are showing, they are controlling the narrative about how they view their guys. They are controlling the narrative about how they view their guys. So I really enjoy this. I really enjoy it. What up, Q? We already knew. That's a fact. I like his energy. He's not a quitter. He's here to win. So I like it. Judkins is going to cook this season. I agree. Oh man, Evelyn, my bot got you. Shout out to the Alabama Crimson. Todd. Evelyn, I think the other day you said you in Bama. I got family down in Bama. Don't tell me you down there by Birmingham because you are so close. You are so close to my family, Evelyn. So close. Judkins is going to cook this season. I agree. Shedeur, Denzel, Quinshan. Did I miss anyone? I believe Harold Fannin Jr. was also. They did one of these features on him. The only attention he's paying is to details. It's still their craziest bar. They are letting people know they are locked in and focused. Yes, Evelyn, ever since he's been on his family TV show, locked in for a long time with Shedeur. It's a miracle his injury wasn't more severe. Yeah, to see him like there in the facilities working out and all that stuff is just a good thing. Good thing. All right, let's go. What we got next? All right, let's check our time. Let's see. Let's go here. Wait, let's see. Let's do this. Let's highlight some guys. I got to go back to the other view. But let's highlight some guys enjoying their time in Cleveland. enjoying their time in Cleveland. This is Spencer. He's throwing out the opening pitch at the Guardians game.
Yes.
Man, his energy.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. Oh, this is going to be terrible.
Nah, it was a good pitch. It was a good pitch.
Oh, that was good. Oh, hey.
So that's Spencer. Let's check out KC Concepcion in the city. We got KC right here.
So how we feeling after the first pitch? Nerves going out on the mound there?
Yeah, I was very nervous, but after the pitch, I was just, thankful, for the opportunity. So.
Girl playing any baseball?
Yeah, I started playing baseball when I was about 5, 6 years old, probably.
How'd you like it?
I liked it, but like I started getting into like football more. So.
Yeah, safe to say football has kind of worked out for you. Yeah. Obviously now in the nitty gritty of minicamp, how's that been going for you? And how nice is it that you have opportunities like this to go out and explore the city a little bit?
Yeah, it's been amazing. Just being able to get around the team, get around everybody. Get around the coaches. I learned the system, and just getting out in the city and being able to come here and throw the first pitch, it's just been amazing. I had an interview and, it was a bunch of fans, just embracing me, asking me for pictures, autographs and stuff like that. So like, it's just been amazing, honestly.
I hope y'all hear it. He said, hey, fans asking me for pictures, asking me for autographs, asking me all those things. So he's getting shown love around the city. That's why I wanted to kind of separate the Cleveland media from the actual city of Cleveland, because if you ask the players how they're enjoying themselves, they are being shown love around the city. They're being shown love around the city. Let me show y'all something else the Browns put out. I'm from Talladega, Alabama. I have family in Birmingham, Alabama. Highway Airport, 3rd Avenue South. I lived in Cleveland over 35 years. I guarantee you I know your mother from Mount Sinai Hospital. It is no way. You probably know so much more of my family. This is crazy. Definitely probably know my mom and my grandma both worked at Mount Sinai, plus a lot of my family in Birmingham, Alabama. So this is crazy. This is crazy. Shout out to you, Evelyn. You definitely are close. That's close proximity to my family. Around the time my family moved around, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Shout out to you. Cleveland media is trying to rage bait the fans and people that believe in Shedeur. Don't fall for the bait. D Neon, shout out to you. I agree. Fano loves Cleveland. They get treated with love in the city. If they do sign D-Hop, I think that's more for Watson, not Sanders. Yeah, they got a history. They got a history together. So I wouldn't put it past that viewpoint. KC been everywhere. He has. He has a hearty chuckle like Santa Claus. Yes, talking about Spencer. You should make Did I Stutter t-shirts. KC Concepcion has his own brand. He has his own brand, and I don't know if he's going to use that for his own brand. Let me see. Let me show you. Give me un momento. Let me try to find this real quick. Because KC does have his own brand. He does have his own brand. So let me see. I'll button that. Let me find y'all KC's brand real quick. Because I definitely don't want to, step on his stuff. All right, so here you go. Let me show y'all. Let's go here. Let's move this here. Okay, so KC Concepcion actually has his own brand, and he drops merch. So I don't know if that would be something he would use, but he has his own merch. And let me get the website so I can show y'all. Yeah, he has his own brand. So if it's gonna be too closely tied to the merch of someone who I support and they could potentially use, because that was a very powerful thing that he wrote, then I wouldn't release merch. I wouldn't release merch close to it. I wouldn't do that. So let me do this. I'm gonna drop the website to his merch so y'all can see it. I just like to let's see. Let's go here. Wait. Yeah, it's just one of those things I think about if it's gonna be too close to the player. But here is his website for his merch. So shout out to KC. And that's just one of the rules that I have. Like, if it's somebody I support, I don't want to kind of impose on something that they could do or use, especially based on their own words. So all right, here we go. So KC's crazy day in Cleveland. Let me show you all. The Browns posted this on IG. So first practice of phase 2 practice. First day of Browns phase 2 practice, 12:15. Then he was throwing out the first pitch. For some reason, I cannot get access to the Patreon. Tell me more about the issue that you're having, Rashida. Tell me more about the issue that you're having. Okay. This is him. Yeah, tell me more about the issue you have. And then also, Rashida, if you're on any other social media, DM me over there and I can try to help you with it. Here we go. He threw out the first pitch. Then he was at the Cavs game at 8 o'clock, pulling the sword. That's what they do before the game. So he had a busy day, and I like this meme they made of him. I like that. So shout out to them. And you're probably wondering, how did he maneuver and get all that done? So in Cleveland, which I really like, stuff is really close together. So I'll show you all this. So you could go to an early Guardians game, and then if you wanted to, it was a later Cavs game, you could go to a Cavs game. And this is an example of how you could do that. So they're right next to each other. Right next to each other. So you could go to both. You could go to both in the same day because they're right next to each other. I remember when the Cavs had they had a preseason game or opening game. It was early in the year. And then it was when the Guardians, at the time they were the Indians, they were playing in the World Series 2016. So you can go to both in the same day. So the Cavs, after their game, they actually went to the World Series game. So it's very close. I'll show you all another time real quick. This is where the Guardians play now. And that is where the Cavs play. So very close. So that's how he was able to maneuver and enjoy himself in the city at those two sporting events. Just to show y'all. Oh no. I'm happy they're showing them being embraced by the city. We didn't get this last year. We did not. Oh no, not the earbuds going out. Oh no, that's not good. D, you know my grandma? Questions that need answers, Key Mathis. Questions that need answers. I was scouted and tried out for the White Sox. Have two cousins who play pro. One played for Seattle Mariners a few years back. Tim, is that Lopes or Lopez? And his brother Christian played with Arizona and Texas Rangers. Shout out to them. Baseball is hard. Just flat out, baseball is hard. Bruh, this Ivy League Andrew at his best, involving the young guys off the rip. He is controlling everything with precision. That's winning culture. Hey, I don't know how people don't see it, 13 Pro Cal. I don't know how they don't see it. I don't know why people are acting like Watson was ever a great passer of the ball. He was never known as a great passer, even when he did pass for a lot of yards in certain seasons. Our Jizzle been breaking down the film, y'all. That makes sense, especially these days. Yeah, talking about him, Casey Concepcion on his merch. All right, we back. Tika's back. Get with me, Rashida, or let me know in the chat what the issue is. Let's see. I am glad all the attention the rookies and KC are getting because they deserve it. Shedeur gets a little too Unpoko, piece to develop. Yes. If you focus on the new guys, then they get to relax. Shedeur gets to just develop in peace. He was never known for making intermediate passes or making touch passes, taking steam off passes like Shedeur. Yeah, when it comes to throwing the football, especially if he wasn't as good at his best, now it's not going to get better after that shoulder surgery. Casey will get some brand guidance from 2. All he has to do is catch the ball. Hey, he going to be out of here. Set up how Dallas is somewhat. Okay, got you. I've never been to Dallas, but I like it how it's so close. And then you wouldn't necessarily want to walk, but if you did have to walk from here to where the Browns play currently, man, it's probably 25-minute walk. You wouldn't want to make that walk, but you could get to all 3 easily. Set up how Dallas is. Miss Ian Burns was a pediatric nurse who was 4 out of 6 children. Dr. M. White was the pediatrician, just a little bit. Yeah, I gotta. You're gonna have me calling my grandma, asking her, my grandma and my mom. I gotta take a screenshot, y'all. You're gonna have me calling my grandma and my mom, asking them if they remember. All right. I had to take a screenshot to save that. Patreon is blocked from me in Brazil. Patreon, Rumble, and some other sites. Yeah, too, man. Unfortunately, Patreon is the one that gives me a little bit more room with my videos that I show and stuff like that. So Patreon just was the kind of the best place. Also, that sense of community because you could chat and speak with each other. So Patreon just ended up being the best. So that's why I went with Patreon. Set up like the Cowboys and Texas Rangers. Exactly, Black Pearl. Watson was never known for that. He has always been known as an athletic QB. I agree with that. The same as Taylor Green. Green needs a lot of work. Agreed. I agree with that. All right. We got next. Let's see. We got KC. From what we watched Tuesday, he was primarily only throwing when they were wide open, not anticipating a lot of throws. I'm tripping about why that running game isn't getting any criticism. You mean from last year, or Jizzle? The Browns run game, they should have got a lot of smoke. So man, it's crazy what a year does. Oh man, I took myself off screen. It's crazy what a year does. So I'm gonna show y'all this, and then I'm gonna read to you the commentary from it. So this is in practice. So let me play it. Early on, they are using motions, jet sweeps, stuff like that. It took the Browns a long time to get to the point to use this. Now, I want to show y'all what Lance Reisland said. Monken does a great job of making motion shifts and movement a core part of the offense, not extras added on later. From day one, these things become normal, helping with operation, timing, and preventing penalties. Here, Casey Concepcion works on the fly sweep action with the running backs and quarterbacks. Man, oh man, is that a shot at Kevin Stefanski? Hey, It's a new day. It's new energy because this is one of the people who defended Kevin Stefanski to the end. But when you see what they're implementing early in practice, you realize it's totally different than what was happening previously. It's totally different. What we got next? We got that one. We got that one. All right, let's get to. We're going to hear from Taylor Green. Yeah, we're going to hear a little bit from Taylor Green and a little bit from Taylor Boston.
Quarterback out of Arkansas. How tall are you?
Denzel Boston.
Okay. All anyone talks about is how tall you are. Do you ever get sick of that?
No, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. Can see everything.
Spencer Fano and his brother Logan, they're like huge Star Wars fans. You're not a Star Wars guy, are you?
Nah, I'm not.
Okay, so there's a new movie coming out, The Mandalorian, where he's got the little baby Yoda.
Uh-huh.
So this is kind of, to me, what this.
That's great.
He would laugh at that. You're laughing. See, we got him.
I know what you're talking about, though.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
So what have your first 2 days of, it's kind of like the first 2 days of school, right?
Definitely.
What have they been like?
Oh, it's been really cool, getting out here, playing football, not, training for the 40 or, training for a pro day or anything. So it's been really cool to meet, a lot of different guys, we're from completely different walks of life, and we're just coming together with the common goal of, trying to make this team better and, ultimately to win the Super Bowl,
Go back to what you just said about not training for the combine. You stole the show at the combine. You won the combine. That's a good thing, not a bad thing.
I appreciate that.
Okay. But at the same time, a lot of the pre-draft process, like you said, isn't about football.
Mm-mm.
So, that's a transition.
It is.
Like Carson Ryan said yesterday, man, it was good to just play football.
It is.
Tell me about that.
I mean, it's football. And at the end of the day, this is the best job in the world. I believe. We're still playing a game. We're still playing a child's game, and to get paid for it and for this to be my professional job, it's truly a blessing. It's a responsibility, that I don't take lightly, and none of the people here, and especially wearing the Browns helmet, is something you can't take for granted, and especially I just got here 2 days. For 2 days, I could just feel just the tradition and the people around here really care for.
They do.
Not just us, but the whole football team.
They absolutely do. And I know the veterans haven't necessarily been in the building. Some guys hanging out, but have you had that, whether it's with a veteran in the building or maybe just being out there or wearing this uniform for the first time, this jersey? Have you had a wow moment yet?
Not really. I met Shedeur. I met Dylan. Really, I'm just excited to, get in the building and learn from all the quarterbacks. They did it at a high level. So, I'm just going to be a sponge and, take everything in and learn, at a steep curve. And especially I could tell I got a really great coaching staff that, believes in me and, going to coach me up. Sometimes I think I did a good job and, they, oh, your foot's not right or this. So, just always next play mentality and just continue to learn and never get satisfied.
Do you?
So they just kind of focus on his height and then focus on his height, then they focus on the combine, and it's like, come on, man, just let us get to know the person. Like, the combine is over. Most of the stuff we see at the combine, they will never do in the NFL game. So it's like, it is what it is. Like, just let that stuff go. One thing I noticed on this video is Coach Monken went into how they want to help him quicken up his release on shorter passes and take some of him throwing hard to shorter passes. So check downs to running backs, tight ends, that's something they got to work on. And looking at this video, it's funny because Dr. Clyde Marshall said it at the same time. He kind of has almost like a sidearm release, and it's a long release. So it's hard for you to just get it out quick when you're just not just coming over with your release. So that is something that they've identified that they want to work on with him just early on. Just early on, because you can see it there. Just early on. So I like his I like that he's humble. I like he's there to learn. I like his energy. I like his positivity. But man, oh man, some of these questions, I'm with y'all. I just don't get it. 4 out of 6 children at Mount Sinai. Judkins was a high draft pick. Yeah, they should talk about him more. I think he's going to have a very good season. D, you were raised well. I appreciate that, Ms. Brown. Shout out to my parents. It's a lot of stuff that they instilled in us from a very young age that I can still tell you to this day. I'm talking about from the time I was probably 4 or 5 years old, I still remember things that they said to me. So it's definitely that's them. That's them. Shout out to my parents. D, I've been meaning to ask you about Coach Riesling. What do you think about him? I think he is a person who, since he was a coach in the past, I think he has a soft spot for coaches, and he doesn't really want to throw them under the bus. Because if you notice, he was very patient with Kevin Stefanski last year when people were over him. And then if eventually got to the point where he just said, I think he lost the locker room and now he has to go. I think he's better suited when he is breaking down X's and O's and what is supposed, or what he thinks is supposed to happen on the play. I think in that spot he's good. I think just like some players, when they ask him to be an analyst, I think is not as good. So that's what I would take. So when he's sticking to X and O's or just implementing like something he noticed, him implementing motion, movement, jet sweep action from day one, I think that's good that he noticed it. But when he has to become an analyst, I think it just kind of tapers off. Shedeur definitely has him beat out. I'm just going to say this Watson is not currently better than Shedeur, period. Black Pearl, you know I agree with that. The Watson of today is not better than Shedeur. Nope, and there's too many folks that think otherwise. Did I tell you I was cut by the St. Louis Cardinals and the New York Mets? I am thankful for the opportunity. I cried because imposing batters could not hit my pitches. I am a side armor. Man, that just has to be a different level of experience, man, that you made it. You made it all the way up to the top and got the opportunity, man. So shout out to you. Shout out to you just making it. Shout out to you for making it. Why are his opening questions terrible at times? It's just kind of like weird icebreaker questions, I think. Weird icebreaker questions. Black Pearl almost took me out. Black Pearl almost took me out. It looks a little windy outside. He probably got cement in his shoes to keep from taking off. Dumbelina. When I saw that comment, I couldn't hold it while we was listening. Black Pearl almost took me out with that comment. Almost took me out. Nothing upset me more than offsides or big play, negating plays. Something any decent high school coach fixes. Stefanski did not and let it be consistent all year. The last 2 years, we've had a lot of penalties. He said, Baby Yoda. Yeah, he just said, I'm going to clown myself. I'm going to clown myself. Where we at? Won the combine. Sorry, I didn't like the interview. Yeah, this interview was weird. I think this shows Taylor Green being able to handle himself in an uncomfortable position, because the beginning of this just didn't make sense to me. Didn't make sense. The DG memes in training camp is going to be crazy because they will be on the same field. So last year I went to the Carolina Panthers game, and Dylan Gabriel didn't really come on the field until right before the game started. And he was walking next to, I think the picture I have him walking next to Zach Conklin. Man, you see his height. So they are lying talking about 6 foot anything with Dylan Gabriel. Who believes it? Money over performance? The raw, bitter truth. Let's go. Yeah, it's definitely performance over money, and people fall for that trap. They've already got a picture of them standing around each other for Monday. I saw that. When I watch Green, he looks like he has to wind up to throw. Very good point, Craig. Let me do this because I noticed that too. We don't need the sound, but I just want y'all to see him go through the motion of throwing. This is where you can see it. This is what Craig is talking about. Let me go back. Not that far. All right. All right, you're going to be able to see it here. We don't need the sound, but they're about to show him throwing it, and this is exactly what Craig is talking about. So he's on the move, and that's okay for a deep pass, but a shorter pass, you got to speed that up. This looks like a power thrower versus a fluid throw. So people who I would say I've seen throw similar are people who they talk about how hard they can throw the ball. To me, that was like a Cam Newton who was, he could throw so hard, but then the touch passes he just kind of struggled with for a while. Cam Newton did. So look at Anthony Richardson. Oh man, he could throw the ball 1,000,000 yards, but then the touch easy throw is just kind of, he misses. So that's a good eye right there, Craig. Good eye right there. And that's what's gonna happen with a rookie. They're gonna be developed. It's gonna be stuff that they could do better. Pick 15. Oh, you got all right. You've got mail. Let's drop it up real quick. Let's see. Pick 15. Oh man, I got my stuff kind of boxed up so it's not showing correctly. Okay, we'll come back to it. They stay tearing him up about his ears all the time. Man, you know I try to stay focused when it comes to the ears. I try to stay focused. Don't start on the ears. Yes, Black Pearl trying to start it. I'm trying to lock in and stay focused. I'm just trying to stay focused. Let's see. Let's get to Denzel Boston. Y'all can check out the rest of this. The Cleveland Browns put this out 23 hours ago. We also got Denzel Boston. I believe it's here. Let me get the sound back. Stank Fancy equal Jason Garrett. Man, 13 Pro Cal. If you had to pick between those two as your next coach, who would you pick? Stank Fancy or Coach Clapp? Who you picking? Who you picking? Standing next to the reporter, he almost reminds me of the old show Herman and the Monster because he's so much taller than him. 5-yard fastballs, tearing up wide receiver hands. Yes, you got to be able to put some touch on the ball to throw a catchable pass. Look at Joe Milton, big arm. What else? That's a fact. His right leg moves weird when he throws too, awkward at times. Yeah, just some more development. John Elway had trouble with that too. Yeah, because they're so powerful. They use all the power to throw the ball, and it's like, man, you need touch. You need touch on a shorter pass, and that's what they were telling him. All right, let's get to Denzel Boston. Another one, the questions I think kind of started off awkward, but they got to it.
And welcome back into Cleveland Browns Daily. Joined now by a guy who it's pretty hard not to miss because he makes quite the presence. Denzel Boston wearing that 1-2 out here. I imagine when you are dreaming of all of these things, you start to think about that ultimate prize. And we put out a video of you as you're walking to your locker and you're next to Miles. How does that hit for you?
Yeah, that just it was just a surreal moment. You know what I mean? Just having my own locker in the locker room first was crazy, and then to be next to a guy who's going to go down as an all-time great, it was really a very surreal moment for me.
Well, you talked about the ultimate prize. You were wearing the hoodie with Jordan and and the trophy, the Larry O'Brien. First of all, where'd you pick that up? That's very good. That's our era. You're a young man for that. That's our era right there.
Yeah, I got that in the when I was in Seattle. There was like this little event. A vendor, he made like some nice hoodies like that have custom pieces. So I seen the Michael Jordan one. I was like, I got to pick that up. I'm a Michael Jordan guy. I'll put that out there.
Appropriate. So
perfect.
Young and learned. I like it.
What's this like, this whirlwind? Drafted, come out, do all of that stuff. Now all of a sudden rookie minicamp. What has this been like for you the last month or so?
Yeah, I say a lot of it was just like stress, wondering where you're going to end up. Like you never know if you're going to be on the East Coast, West Coast. You never know. So I say like once all that stressful stuff got out the way and when we got out here to the field and came to rookie minicamp, it's like awesome. I get to play football again. I'm happy to be here now.
How many familiar faces for you out here with this group?
Oh, for the rookie class, a lot, because I trained with Taylor Green, trained with Justin Jefferson, trained with Austin Barber. I know Parker Brailsford.
Right, started in Washington, yeah.
Yeah, and then I had me and KC, we were hanging out at an Adidas, like, little photo shoot thing. So, like, a lot of familiar faces with this class.
Does that help?
Oh, a lot. It's great. Already feeling like you kind of have a family moving away from your family.
Yeah, so it seemed like you and Taylor had a nice rhythm out there. Day one of rookie minicamp, you had a nice connection going, and obviously that wasn't just started out here today.
Oh, yeah, for sure, 100%.
What was kind of your attitude in terms of coming out here? Because you were pretty noticeable, bud.
Yeah.
The way you went about your business, everything, you look ready to go. I mean, you look like everything that we hope that you will be. What was kind of in your head as you came out to put on that first impression as a Cleveland Brown?
Yeah, for me it was just coming out with confidence and knowing that I'm supposed to be here. I've worked all this time to be here. I've deserved to be here. So, coming out here, not being scared, just coming out, come play football, do what I've been doing my whole life, and just putting out a good first impression that I'm here to do whatever I can to make this team win.
I'll tell you something that I noticed.
I like his energy. I like his perspective. The more you hear him speak, hey, I'm supposed to be here. That's one of the hurdles that rookies go through, like feeling like they don't belong. So some of them will need that coach. Some of them will need that coach to speak some life into you, to put you past that level of confidence. And clearly, either the coach is speaking it to them or they're speaking it to themselves, but the confidence and the energy in the room is a lot different because they're not putting guys down in the media. They're not putting them down in the media. So I thought this was really good. Let's catch up on the chat. He has more tools than DG. I agree with that. Speaking on Taylor Green, they not messing with my QB1. Stop playing with him. Put some respect on his name. Yeah, Shedeur is fine. Elway gun passes to receivers back in the day, causing drops and forcing Denver to invest in receivers. Otherwise, they couldn't catch. I think I remember Shannon Sharp saying something about a finger that got messed up from a pass from John Elway. I'm back. Is Shedeur in Cleveland or Miami? I've seen YouTube channels say both, so I'm confused. Are they practicing in Berea this week? I believe they are practicing in Berea this week, so I don't believe he's in Miami currently. What you say? What you say, D? I didn't hear you. Hey, we keep it pushing on that, Craig. I like the girl. Yes, I like his energy. I like the way he calls it as well. Nathan interviews so much better than Ears. He does. I agree with that. I'm picking a player coach on the team. Yeah, that one's tough. So I guess we're going with Coach Clapp over Stank Nasty. Oh my goodness. Black Pearl. Borrow homie's ears. You will hear a mouse fart. Black Pearl. We're going to stay focused. We're going to breathe. We're going to stay focused. I think he was in Miami this weekend because he's been at workouts in Cleveland Monday and Tuesday. Yes, because they are practicing. I was trying to find out what the name of it is because they didn't put this practice on the media schedule. So I think they're calling it phase 2, where they're allowed to work all offense and all defense. They can't go against each other. So I believe he's there because I saw them show him and Deshaun there. Boston is media trained. Yeah, he handles the media well. Ears is too busy being shady to be good. Big ear bandit. Big ear bandit is crazy. Big ear bandit is crazy. We're going to stay focused. Boston is definitely a pretty polished player. I agree with that. It's Black Pearl today. It is Black Pearl. The big ear bandit is crazy. I think the players come back the 19th to the 21st. They do come back next week. But they're doing some type of practice. The only thing I can gather is they call it phase 2. The Browns put out, because the Browns put this out the other day. Where is it? Right here. Yeah, the Browns put this out the other day. And they were talking about KC's day, and they said 12/15, first day of the Browns phase 2 practice. This was a couple days ago he did this. This was the day of game 4, so then he threw out the first pitch, and then he was at the Cavs game, so that had to be game 4. It had to be game 4. So they have some type of practice going on. Let me find the interview we were at. All right, here we go. The Elway cross is what they called it because the cross at each end of the football. Man, oh, man. Pro Bowler Shedeur Sanders was in Miami this weekend. Okay, gotcha. It was the weekend. Okay, D, I'm going to stop. Yeah, the big ear bandit is crazy. That is crazy, Black Pearl. Boston seems ready to take on the world and dominate. I agree. Yeah, phase 2 workouts. They don't. It's funny, they don't have it listed anywhere that they're having the phase 2 workouts. But they put it out that they're there. I was trying to get you started, Arjizzle, but you was on chill mode. Yeah, Arjizzle's in chill mode right now. All right, let's get back to Denzel Boston.
And most people, when they think about receivers, they're like, oh, the catches and the routes and the separation. I noticed you downfield blocking 10, 15, 20 yards. That's stuff that the coaches know. You don't block, you usually can't play in this league at wide receiver because that's how the big runs happen in the NFL.
Right.
It's not that you're on a team that's so much more talented than the other team that's just, oh, there's a wide lane. It's because receivers are doing their job down the field. A bigger receiver like yourself, they're going to want you in that run game.
For sure.
That stood out right away. Is that something that was talked about in the meeting room with Coach Jones? And, look, we got to block.
For sure. He said, you got to block, otherwise the rock not going to come. So, I think
no block, no rock.
Exactly. And I think just paying attention to detail when I'm supposed to be taking those deep blocks and helping the running back make big plays, that's only going to make the team better. So that's how I take it.
I love it.
Quinshan gonna have a big year, y'all. So one thing I want y'all to kind of start thinking about: the Baltimore Ravens have been one of the top rushing teams the last couple years. Excuse me. The top rushing teams the last couple years, and I think they're going to bring that to Cleveland. They're going to bring that to Cleveland with a upgraded offensive line, upgraded tight ends, upgraded receivers who can block downfield. They're bought in. They're here to win. So I think Quinshan Judkins, him running into stack boxes like he did last year, it's not going to be the same. No block, no rock. See, you know why I like that so much, Black Pearl? Because it makes the emphasis and it shows how we can hold you accountable. It's quantifiable. You're not blocking upfield? Come to the bench. You're not blocking upfield? Come to the bench. So they have built-in ways. That they can hold you accountable that are easy to understand. No block, no rock. Go to the bench. I like it. I like that a lot. Rashida, I love that as well. Yeah, that's good. I like that a lot. Okay, D, get back over here and your head back in the game. I'm trying to stay focused, man. I'm trying to stay focused. Can I live? Definitely stay safe. Stay safe on the road, Arjizzle. Stay safe on the road. Stay safe. Let's listen to some more. Black Pearl, you caught that? Hey, if you're not going to block up field, we're not just going to have you out there just because. You have to perform. This is a performance-based sport. So if they are laying the groundwork to hold you accountable, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, they're also laying the groundwork to reward people who are doing what they're supposed to do and hold people accountable who are not doing what they're supposed to do. Man, these chatbots is funny. One chatbot say something, the other chatbot got to follow up and say the same thing. These chatbots is funny, y'all. They are funny. I don't know if y'all noticed this. They are funny. They both tried. They said, "Hey, I'm trying to get paid." All right, let's go.
Yeah, you feel like such a veteran already.
He looks like a veteran. That's what he looks at on the practice field. In the draft process, and we talked to all these people who do the evaluations, and we talked about you a lot. We were big fans of you. We wanted big receiver, somebody physical on the outside who could high point things, get separation, block, all the stuff. And we talked about you consistently in the draft process. And we would say, well, who does he remind you of? And people do that. And some people don't want to do that. And that's not necessarily what I'm asking, but who are people who you look at who inspired you? Who are receivers, past, present, who you look at and go, this is stuff that I want to pull into my game?
Yeah, for sure. Mike Evans, T. Higgins, and Nico Collins. I think those are three that I probably watched the most in the recent time. And then, when I go back, I always try to watch some Randy Moss and some Megatron film, just to get that vision of myself just going up and grabbing that ball out the air and making big plays. So definitely those five, I'd say.
What do you think for a guy like, let's take Nico Collins, because Mike Evans, obviously, a lot of people were watching his tape as they're watching Johnny Manziel. And I remember watching that and being like, who the heck is this guy?
Yeah.
He's obviously gone on, had an incredible career. But Nico Collins was, at Michigan, not really a pass-first offense at that time.
Right.
Ended up going, I think, in the third round, middle of the third round.
Yes, feels right.
What have you seen from his game that you like so much that's allowed him to, you're a first-round talent, there's no doubt about that, that's allowed him to become one of those top players in the league, and how can you apply that to yourself?
I think he knows how to play with his size. I think he knows how to play with his size very well, and also, you know, I feel like he's really crisp, more crisp than he gets like the credit for. So I think those are the two things he does very well, and he knows how to go grab the ball. Another guy who can go up and grab the ball and you know, make big plays. You know, I'm a big physical receiver myself, so I try to watch those guys and try to emulate their game a little bit and kind of mix it in with mine.
One of the things I love just watching the way you catch the ball.
He definitely got some media training to him. He's very concise with his answers. He's not giving extra. He's answering it thoroughly and then moving on. So I like it. I like his mindset. I like his energy. You all know I liked him before the draft. So nothing's going to change now that he's on the Browns. It's like an added bonus when a player who you're rooting for pre-draft ends up on the team that you root for. It's just a bonus, just like KC Concepcion. So just a bonus. Totally different energy with this team that's getting me excited in so many ways. I'm really, really, really hyped. I'm really hyped for this year. Really hyped. That PIP plan is working. Zedric, you see it. They coming back to back. One bot say something, the other one got to say something. It's crazy. The other night I wrote a thought. Colorado defeats Colorado State. The CSU coach goes public about Deion wearing a cap or hat around women. Travis gets injured. That late hit affected the Buffaloes. It did. Actually, I'm gonna talk about Colorado once we finish this, because one of their first game actually already got swapped into an ESPN game. So we're gonna talk about that momentarily, Dr. Clyde Marshall. I do think that Watson will and can be successful in Monken offense, though. Yeah, and I think that's more on Todd Monken being good, and I think he will put guys in position where they feel comfortable. That is something he spoke about. Hey, you gotta put the players in position so they can play fast. That's something he harps on. So I'm not saying he can't work with Deshaun Watson. I think more so it is, I think Shedeur better than Deshaun, which I know you agree with that, Arjizzle. No stunting, no dropping, no whining or crying this season if you're not like that. Even if you are like that, well, they don't want none of that. Even if you are like that, AB, his winning draft selection are going to be a reflection on the Todd father and his coaching style. I agree with that. I missed the Nico Collins reference, but that's hilarious considering the Pro Bowl. Yeah, you remember Zedric was talking. I was like, yeah, they got to get a Nico Collins like raw receiver, and you're like, they need to go get Nico. And I'm like, I don't know if Nico, you know, they could get him, but hey, we weren't that far off. We weren't that far off with getting Denzel Boston. Collins is twitchy also. He is. Boston 12 is going to be interesting since they're selling Shedeur 12 jerseys some places. Yeah, they got to clear out that inventory. Janky ain't gonna throw his temper tantrums this year if he wants to play. That's a fact. That coach was dirty. Yeah, you know, I mean, the coach ended up getting fired not 2 seasons after that. So hey, put the target on you if you want to, but then you got to produce. So it happens. It happens. Let me pull up something real quick. Definitely go check out this interview with Denzel Boston. Let's speak quickly on. We're gonna speak quickly on Colorado. I had something. I believe I saved it. Let me find it real quick for y'all. Let me find it. Let's get to it. Let me clean up some stuff on my end. So we are working smooth. All right, we got that cleaned up. Let's see. Where is it at? Here we go. All right, I got it. All right, here we go. There we go. I think Barry saw that connection during the Pro Bowl. I think so as well. Did Ken Dorsey help him feel comfortable? Guess the variable there would be Stefanski still. Also, it's hard because they tried to implement more shotgun for Deshaun Watson, but they didn't have the running backs. So it was like they were putting puzzle pieces together that didn't match. So if you look at Nick Chubb, he's a downhill runner, and he could do a good cutback and then take off. It's hard to do that coming out of shotgun. So your best running back doesn't work with shotgun. Your quarterback feels way more comfortable in shotgun. So they were just mixing parts that kind of didn't really match. But even when they implemented more shotgun, they would go to shotgun instead of going to 11 personnel. They would go into 12 personnel when they would go 5 wide. So they would have 2 tight ends, and neither tight end could win an individual route. That wasn't helping. It wasn't helping because if you take David Njoku and they put their slot corner on them, and then you got receivers who can't win, you just kind of condense the field. So it was just, they were mixing stuff together that none of it really matched. None of it really matched. So you couldn't even get the benefit of having Nick Chubb in the backfield because they never really threw it to Nick Chubb that often out of the backfield. So you know that most times they go to shotgun, they're throwing the ball. So they became even more predictable, even though they tried to implement more stuff that Deshaun Watson liked. They didn't have the receivers who can take the top off the defense, so they didn't have the deep threat, so teams could still crowd the box for when you were running out of shotgun. So it was a combination of things that just kind of didn't make sense. It just didn't. A lot of it didn't make sense. A lot of it didn't make sense. Dorsey to add to that, Dorsey made the offense look better once Jameis got in. Zed, that's why I said Shedeur has his own Nico now. Facts. That's why I wanted Nico. I can't wait to see it in action. Yeah, because Shedeur will give his guys a shot. So if I'm going to throw it up, you got to go get it. Remember Shedeur, legendary, gets a cut of his jersey sales. He made $14 million before hitting the field. Go purchase your shirt. They're cheaper now, but worth much more later. Yes. Because they put, as soon as they announced he was going back to 2, they put the 12 jerseys on sale. Watson never looked good in Cleveland. He did not. If we were talking about Watson 10 years ago, Monken would have a field day with him, but we're talking about post-surgery Watson, who has more issues than positives. I agree with that. I know this, too, is a businessman. He loves to play the name. He don't need the NFL money. Yeah, I think that played a bigger part in how people viewed him, kind of threatened by him not needing the money. All right, so the first game that Colorado's going to play, they're going to be in Atlanta, Georgia, playing Georgia Tech. They're going to be at Georgia Tech. They made this a Thursday game. It's going to be on ESPN, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. Kind of deciding if I want to go to this game based on some stuff I got that I'm going to be doing for Patreon. I don't know yet. Haven't fully decided. Something we're going to kind of figure out and think about. But my thoughts on Colorado. Juju coming into year 2, getting some starts last year, I think will be really good for him. He has a different energy. He has an attacking offensive coordinator in Brendan Marion. He also adds some wrinkles. So I believe the offense will improve because everywhere Brendan Marion has been the OC, the offenses have improved year by year. So I think that'll be an improvement. They got bigger in the trenches, which I think will help them. That's kind of been one of their downsides. And I also think DC Chris Marv is going to bring a different type of energy to the defense. He's going to be willing to blitz more, send pressure more, mix it up. So my outlook on CU is just as positive as my outlook on the Cleveland Browns. So I'm collectively excited for both of them. Both of them I think is going to be better. We're going to be doing Saturday or whichever day that Colorado plays. We're going to be doing watch parties for them. And then you got to stay tuned for what we're going to be doing on Sundays during the NFL season. A little bit too early. A little bit too early to spill the beans, but we're going to be doing some special stuff on Sundays. Just stay tuned. Stay tuned. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this stream. I enjoyed it with y'all. We got to take a look a little bit behind the scenes at content creators and what they are doing and the tactics they are using. We didn't even have to play any of their content just to show you what they're doing. We got into the new energy in Cleveland. We are getting the Browns schedule released tomorrow. So Friday, we'll be talking about the schedule, when, what, who, where, why that they'll be playing. If they get any primetime games, we'll be talking about a lot of things on Friday. So definitely be looking forward. We got to kind of calm the mind a little bit when it comes to how the players are being treated in the city of Cleveland. If you are an athlete in Cleveland and you show up and produce, they will look out for you. They will take care of you. You'll get love in the city. You're already seeing Casey Concepcion out there. He's getting the love. You see Spencer, he's getting the love. So you see the energy is changing. The energy is changing. The vibes are there. They're doing things and implementing things from day one, which I really enjoy. Protect your peace, everybody. We're going to be back at this thing on Friday, talking all things schedule. When the schedule come out tomorrow, I want y'all get a whole night's sleep on it. Think about what you would predict the Browns schedule to be, or how many wins you think they'll have based on the schedule. We'll also talk about, what games y'all might go to, which ones y'all want, all things scheduled on Friday. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all for being here. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this. I enjoyed my time with y'all. I'll catch y'all on Friday. Make sure you subscribe so you can be a part of the live chat. Peace, everybody.
Look at what I did. Look at what I started. Look how far I came, dog. I ain't had no guidance. I just did my thing, dog.